The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Hey guys, I cannot believe that you are doing a show on Friday the 13th, all right? Think about all the things that could happen today. You could accidentally play a commercial in the wrong slot. The overnight guy could spill coffee on the computer. When talking up the intro of a song, you might wind up stepping on the lyrics. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, it wouldn't be that much different.
Friday the 13th. Were you aware of that? Today's Friday the 13th.
I don't believe in that stuff.
Showtime.
Well, after your intro, Josh, yeah, now I am aware of the fact that it's Friday the 13th. That's pretty scary.
Obviously, you weren't too worried about it.
No.
You're just figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always aware, but I don't freak out about it too much.
Nah, there ain't nothing to freak out about. Here she goes, the Friday the 13th, I guess, edition of our radio program. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. God help us, we got this going on today, we got that. You know, all of our typical Friday football nonsense. Andrew DePaola, Purple Pick'em, a fresh edition of Who Dis. We can explain in greater detail when we creep up closer to go time on all these special features. But I'll tell you, F me running sideways, the excitement is killing me.
I can tell.
You know what else I can tell? You're
What?
being very sarcastic.
Oh, come on.
There's a lot of times, we mentioned this before, Fridays, and now, Ashley, you sit in our studio, so you've seen it a few Fridays in a row. One of the first things out of your mouth are, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Let's get this over with. And then you run down a list of things you don't care about.
I do. I've been giving you a roster of things and people that I don't care about at all. Some of it concerns our direct responsibilities today. Some of it is just random because I'm out of my mind at this point.
By Fridays, you're done.
I'm done. So that's what we got going. We'll chat with Andrew DePaola. He's got a game Monday night against the Bears. We'll throw a listener on the radio for Purple Pick'em. And, you know, Who Dis doesn't come around every week. So, okay, that's something I really am looking forward to.
And you love our guest today.
I do.
Even though earlier you made a joke that you don't, I know you do.
You're right. I do care very deeply for our guest this morning for our Who Dis segment. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will try to figure it out. Again, like I said, we'll give you more details as we get closer and closer. Speaking of getting closer, we're damn near to a brand new year. And folks are closing out the year 20 plus 24, Josh, by accomplishing great things. Where did I have this? Some of us are just kind of, lollygagging our way into the new year. There are other folks out there who are accomplishing great things, so they'll be remembered forever. And they will remember the year plus 24, whatever. They'll remember it forever. We talked about this gal a while back who wanted to break the record for most sexual partners in one day, and she did it. She did. Now, is this the same gal who was looking to set a record for most sexual partners in a year as well?
No.
I think it's a different girl.
Different gal.
Different girl.
Who
Yep.
was the gal who was trying to set the record for most sexual partners in a year?
Yeah, text us your answer, and I have a feeling this is going to hurt my feelings. 651-989-9393, the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. The gal that was trying to set the record for the most sexual partners in 1 year.
Okay, we'll get an answer on that. So these are two separate gals. One was going for the year record. This gal here, Lily Phillips, was going for most sexual partners in one day. And she got there. 100 men in a day.
That's exhausting.
She got it done.
She seemed exhausted.
It's not for the weak, girls. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
It's not like just having with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Got a little emotional.
I couldn't understand a word either one of them were saying.
I watched the rest of that interview that guy was doing with her, and she did. Yeah, she started crying.
It was sad.
She cried?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It went from, this is interesting to, I shouldn't be watching
gosh,
this.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to get emotional.
Oh, it was bad. She's hollow inside, both literally and figuratively.
Well, it meant a lot to her.
There was there's something that was funny though. Here you go. This will lighten the mood. When the guy that's recording the documentary walked into the room where it was done, he gagged. Like, you can hear it clear as day. He just goes.
Oh no!
When he walked into the room where all 100 sex partners folded, this Lily, he was going to puke.
Yeah, he said the smell was crazy. I was like, dude, no.
Oh, man.
That is something I've heard over and over again about porn sets. Porn sets. I've heard this many, many times, that the smell will grab your attention.
I've never heard that. That's gross.
Yeah.
No clue.
They said it's just there's just this overwhelming cloud of ass.
She's very polite. You know, she said one of the things she regrets is that every guy didn't have an opportunity to finish. You know, they had just to roll them in and out of there real quick so she could fit them all in.
Yeah, they were running behind, so.
They were. You're right. She was upset not every guy got to finish because they had a deadline to meet. Some guys got 5 minutes. Others had to just pump away like it was prom night. They had about a minute and a half. Like, look, dude, we got a record to set. This isn't about you. This is about Lily. Get it done, son. You know, and the pressure is on. They're just windmilling men in and out of this smelly room. I guess it smelled bad.
Did she have like a bouncer at the door with one of those clickers counting every dude that goes in?
I'm sure they must have something like that.
They had security, Wapple.
So people are texting in saying the woman who was trying to set the record for most partners in a year was Josh's mom. This Lily Phillips was just going for most men in a day. You're right, Josh. They went after you.
Yeah, there's quite a few here.
Who was that lady who was trying to go for the damn yearly record? I know we talked about her.
Yeah, she's a cute little thing.
Yeah, I remember her being, I'd say it the same way. Cute little thing. Damn. Well, I know someone will come up with it. So there you go. What a way to close out the year.
Aha, I found her.
Oh, yep, I just got it too.
What's her name, Ashley?
Annie Knight.
Yep.
So she originally slept with 300 men in a year, and she wanted to up the ante. I can't remember. It was
600.
600, yeah.
Yes, Annie Knight. And is there a joke in there somewhere the last time?
Like any night.
Any night.
Yeah, that's stupid.
They should be friends.
Annie
Knight.
Knight.
I bet they're rivals.
Oh, I
think it's like a Joey Chestnut, Kobayashi type of thing?
You know,
It very well
it's
could
more
be.
like I'll try anything twice Jesus and I'll try anything 4 times Jesus. They have a bit of a rivalry.
All right.
He's like, I'm going to up you.
Annie Knight was the one going for 600 guys in a year. Lily Phillips went for 100 in a day. We know Lily got the job done. As we get closer and closer to a brand new year, PornHub did all the arithmetic, and they've spit out their annual year in review for us with information like how long the average PornHub session lasted. You know, how the average amount of time when you turn on PornHub until you turn the sumbitch off. 10 minutes and 37 seconds.
Maybe it's too difficult to guess, but you could probably estimate. I believe I'm sitting in a studio with 4 PornHub watchers, am I not?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Used to, not so much anymore.
Well, so you're on a different site or just porn in general?
Just porn in general.
Okay, so let's go back to like what would have been normal to you. Who thinks they're at that 10-minute and 37-second average? Below, and if not, below or above or below?
I am. I'd be at that average.
I'd probably be right there.
My my porn viewing habits, like Ashley's, have changed a little bit over time.
Decreased?
No, increased. no.
That happens with marriage.
But don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand. What I mean is, I don't turn it on very often. I don't. When I do, I probably spend longer than 10 minutes looking at it, though.
So what does that mean, not very often? Like, is it once a week, more than once a week?
Oh, hell no. Not even close to once a week.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, it's...
I thought you guys were all more regular, like maybe daily.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Years and years and years ago, maybe. I mean, maybe once a day. Years and years ago. I don't know. Once a month, I'll turn it on. And, but I'm there for longer than 10 minutes and 37 seconds. Because I want to catch up on what the hell's been happening.
Right, yeah, you've been out the game.
And,
oh, that's great. She got married, but it looks like she's cheating on her husband.
Right.
Sometimes you come back and you learn that somebody switched to girls. That's exciting stuff.
That also must have been nuts when 1 month you just, you go on for the first time in a month. And you're like, why is every woman stuck in a dryer underneath the bed or under a couch right now?
There are so many clumsy women out there, aren't there?
Because that just came out of nowhere and is all you saw.
Where are you at, Dana?
I'd say about the same as Wapple, about 10 minutes each time.
And how often?
Oh, probably once a week.
Is that because your fiance might be listening?
No, she's not up yet.
You can be honest.
Once a week, or honestly, is it more than once a week?
No, it's probably about once a week. It really is.
It takes some time to find a video, kind of browsing for a little bit.
I'm a browser, too.
Are you?
I browse.
I mean, is there like a specific thing you're looking for every time?
No, just waiting for something to catch my attention.
Like the thumbnail?
Yeah, it's cool that you can kind of hover over and see like little bits of the video and stuff.
90% of all porn was watched on a cellular telephone. Okay. I guess very few people punch that kind of a thing into their personal computers. Is that what they're telling us here?
Yeah, it's just mobile devices.
Mobile devices make up 90% of it. Okay. The top categories viewed by men. Japanese.
Really? I thought that when we've talked about Japanese before, it's all blurred out. Or maybe they just mean Japanese people in general.
Good question,
Japanese
Cubby.
porn?
Yeah, I mean, you're right about the blurred out thing. That's a gimmick over there. I'm not sure what they're doing. And I can't be sure, like you were just saying, what exactly people are looking for when they punch Japanese into the gimmick there. MILF is in the top most viewed.
And that's kind of what our friend, Mandy Moore. Jordan Max. That's what
What did you say?
Her thing is, I said Mandy Moore.
Oh, I wish she did porn.
That's what her thing is, right? The MILF thing, Jordan Max?
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. But sure, I've seen her in a MILF movie or not. That doesn't make any sense. I've seen her in a MILF movie or two. Mature is a popular category for men. For women, there's a little bit of the same. Or I should say a lot of the same. The top categories for women also includes Japanese, also includes MILF. And then throw lesbian in there as well.
I'm glad there wasn't something like sensual. I love when like movies or TV, whatever it is, tries to spin that like women only watch like sensual, loving, caring porn.
Where they hold each other a little bit before and after.
Yeah.
The lighting is romantic. Yes, all that.
So corny.
It appears that they're really into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those experiences when I was younger where a girl's like, you want to watch a porno movie? And I said, yeah. And then she puts on one of those sensual ones. And I say, I thought we were going to watch a porno movie.
They're telling each other how much they love each other.
It's like they're in a bathtub and holding each other. And no, this isn't a porno movie. I can see this on Cinemax. Did I misunderstand? You said porno movie.
So the list said only 29% of PornHub viewers in the U.S. were women. I thought that was a pretty decent number, actually.
That is a good number.
That's higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah, that's a good number. Proud. Good job, women.
Keep it up.
Girl power.
Woo.
And, PornHub, I mean, they've got a room full of nerds who just break down all this information to the point where they're exhausted. I mean, I don't know if it's necessary, but that's how they operate. I mean, percentages of everything, and here's where I'm going with that. They even had a nerd sit down and do the arithmetic on all of the top search terms separated by state. So, in Minnesota, we looked up urine parties. In Wisconsin, we looked up and they're kind of poking fun at a Midwest state, South Dakota, for their top search term on PornHub. They're making fun of the Sodackers for being so innocent in their searches. The top search on PornHub from folks in South Dakota was hot babe.
Come on.
Hot babe.
That's like an 8th grader signing into Google for the first time. It's like, okay, what should I type? Hot babe.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Sounds like an 8th grader. Is that your older sister? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's a hot babe. The top 5 trends, according to PornHub. Okay, this, again, back to search terms, I guess. The verbiage you use when you search for a video on PornHub. These are the top 5 trends. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. Demure, the word demure. And that this is a hot word with the young people. Didn't you have some information? Young people, they go with hot mess for a few months and they say it over and over again. Then they go with epic. Then they go with sick. That's how it works. So I guess now the hot word, whether it be PornHub or any damn thing else, it's demure.
That means like modest, shy.
Yeah, shy.
No, I know what.
How did that start?
Oh, I didn't know what it meant until literally the past couple months.
Yeah, where did it start? Cubby wants to know.
Yeah, was it a YouTuber?
Yeah, it was some TikToker used it. I can't remember what they were describing. It was a while ago, but it was like the statement was so demure, so mindful.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of dumb.
I know we moved on from the porn thing, but I did want to get to what.
Oh no, we're still talking porn.
Oh, demure? That was on a different thing.
Yeah, but I was still talking porn.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, good.
Yeah, so don't feel bad if you have more porn.
I thought you were moving to the other article there. In Minnesota, the search was, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, futa hentai.
Yeah.
And then lesbian strap-on in North Dakota. Hot babes, as Nick mentioned, in South Dakota. And you joked about pee. Wisconsin, that's what they looked up. Pee.
Oh, did they really?
They're soaked in urine.
Yeah, they love
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Illinois liked ASMR role play.
I don't know what that is.
Iowa work trip. What is work trip?
Let's go on a work trip.
The ASMR roleplay is that seems specific.
Pardon me?
Because ASMR is when people will make, it's really popular now. People will take a video of them like eating food, and the people like to hear the sounds of it.
Oh yeah.
So I imagine it's very noisy, and then some role play involved. I feel like that's kind of more specific.
I know people like that to fall asleep.
Yeah, the whispering.
Yep.
The ASMR, I've heard of that a lot lately. That's very popular.
I hate it.
Josh, I want to go back to, you're right. I mean, that's an odd and very specific thing that the Iowegians are into. Work trip. So they want to watch.
Cheating on a spouse?
Is it like going on a trip with your boss and then you guys get it on?
Because my wife.
We don't know. That's what we're, but to search.
To look it up, but I'll look it up.
To search a porno movie to have a work trip angle to it is oddly specific. We don't know any details on it. All right, here's some more of these trending search terms. We started with demure, okay, because it's a hot word these days. Wives is trending, especially Mormon wives.
Oh, it's a new TV show that came out about these famous TikTokers that are Mormons.
Oh.
Mormon wives. Yeah.
Okay.
I came across it one day and then got sucked down the rabbit hole. It's pretty interesting, actually.
Okay. So this is all starting to make more sense to me now, that whatever's trending in general will bleed into people's interest in that type of porn. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
A number of years ago when the Kardashians were at their peak, I would imagine that one of the trending terms on Pornhub was Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? So, Josh, here we go now. Okay, this is all kind of coming around for me. So we just mentioned that the Iowegians' top search term on Pornhub for the year 20 plus 24 was work trip. Here we go. Another one of the trending terms in general is coworker or cheating coworker. So this is all kind of falling into place now, at least in my head. The Olympics was a hot term, a popular term. Well, of course, last summer or whenever the hell it was, they went ahead with the Summer Olympics that all of us pretended to be interested in for a week and a half and then forgot all about once it was over.
They like the volleyball videos.
Oh,
that was the big one.
Of course.
Here's that hentai stuff you brought up, Josh. That's also trending, and it's been trending for years. And then the last one, I can't say it out loud. Someone, Josh, I know you have the information in front of you. You say it because I'm done.
The Haktua girl.
And I've been done, for the most part, only a couple days after it hit it big.
I hope we can leave her in this year.
Right, Ashley? Can we stop?
I was exhausted.
We should have stopped with this 48 hours after it took off.
Yes.
She's a millionaire now.
Oh, I'm sure. If she doesn't go to jail soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened? What?
The hentai, we're very worldly in Minnesota. That was the #1 search in the entire world, the hentai porn.
Oh,
Look at
it
us.
was?
Yeah.
Lick me down.
4 years in a row.
I lost some money on that, Josh.
4 years. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row, hentai has been the #1 search term on Pornhub.
Yeah. I got a buddy that's into that. He likes it.
I don't know anybody who's into it.
Boy.
I'm sure I do. They just don't talk about
I'm
it.
going to do everything in my power to put a stop to that.
Hentai porn?
Yes, I am.
All Haktua?
And spit on that thing.
Little reminder for our wonderful listening audience. I'd appreciate it very much if any of you are wandering around the west side of the metro tomorrow night at the Stanchion in Corcoran, Minnesota. Lovely little spot, by damn. Swing on by. Anytime around 6 is when they've got a fun Toys for Tots event kicking in over there at the Stanchion, where they have guest bartenders. This radio personality, that television personality, this athlete, that type of individual. Guest bartenders. And Ashley and I and Janelle Klein are going to be involved in this. Now, I guess it's a bit of a competition. You've got this team against that team. Feel free to stop by and buy a drink and donate. I'm not too worried about the competition side of things, but our particular team starts at 7:30 to 9. Well, we start at 7:30. We go till 9. We'll be bartending at the Stanchion. It's a fun event. We did it last year. Had a riot. It's a lot of work. I'm a little nervous about how exhausted I'm going to be because they work your ass off when you're bartending at that joint or any other joint. I learned last year. Tough work. 7:30 to 9. Stop by if you want to see our team in particular. Again, that'll be myself, Ashley, Janelle Klein, and we'll be joined by. From Minnesota Bound fame, Laura Shera, and one of the toughest sumbitches you'll ever run into, former North Star Jack Carlson, will be joining our team. But again, come out and support all the teams. I believe it starts at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And it's for a great cause, Toys for Tots. So if you're around, swing by. If you can squeeze yourself into that saloon, we'd love to say hi to you and sloppily make you a drink.
It'll be a great time.
Ashley, I can picture you having a really heavy pour when you're behind the bar.
Usually a 4 count.
Is that you can?
Well, they show us, but before we go out there, Dana, they show us what they would like to see from us as far as a pour goes.
So you're not giving out the whole house away when you're making drinks.
I don't want to get in trouble with the boss.
Yeah. Most of the bottles that I think they replace a lot of the stoppers on the bottles to make sure that like they're all the working ones. So we only pour a shot into the cup.
The other great part about it is we come nowhere near the register.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We come back to the you get I'll take someone says I'll take a vodka this and that. I go back to the register, holler out what they ordered, and they do all the exchanging of monies and cards and things like that.
Which is smart. Yeah.
Josh, I don't know how to make a kitty cocktail, but by damn, I'd try if you showed up tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, so what do you got? Grenadine and Sprite? I'm not sure what's in it, but I've had plenty of people order me one.
And some cherries. Got to put some cherries in there.
I'm going to a work-related Christmas party tomorrow, and it's a dress-up deal. And I have like people are getting in costume. There's some pretty elaborate ones.
You mean Christmas dress-up?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you got to wear a suit and tie.
No, so there's a couple. I heard about a couple funny ones that are going to be there.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have brought you some of my random stuff I have. I've got like Christmas lights you can put around your neck, little reindeer ears. I've got a Santa scarf, bunch of stuff.
I was gifted a D's Nuts Christmas sweater.
Now, don't do the Christmas sweater.
Well, I mean, that's what this thing is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
like an ugly sweater.
You have to do a sweater?
You have to, not necessarily a sweater, but something Christmas involved.
Well, you can do Christmas involved without doing the Christmas sweater. That's like a Hawk-Tua joke, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I still like the Christmas sweaters.
Well, then you do what you got to do. But, you got some time. Run out and find, like Ashley was saying, some reindeer horns or who else? Is there a Christmas character that's overlooked that maybe could use a little...
Maybe Bad Santa.
Oh.
But I don't know if anybody would pick up on that.
Bad Santa could use a push.
I'm sure there's plenty of elves. I hope...
Dress up as Frosty. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, top hat, scarf, and a little tiny pipe.
Oh, my gosh, that would be cool.
There's some clever... I don't think I'm...
Oh, and then an orange nose.
You know who I like? I like that little character from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That little bastard.
The jerk?
Huh?
the smarmy one or smarmy whatever one?
The smarmy one.
Yeah, there's like kind of a douchebag.
Well, when I watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the classic friggin' cartoon or whatever, what is that? What do you call that style of animation?
Stop motion?
Yeah, whatever. The classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was on a couple nights ago, and I caught a little bit of it. And Josh and I love to go down this route pretty much every Christmas. Santa is a prick in that friggin' show. And
he really, I didn't realize it until I was an adult.
He's a dick.
He is. He's an a-hole.
And when I was a kid, I don't know why, because you're naive, you don't get it. I got a little older and started watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I just kept... Somebody clotheslined Santa. He's a freaking dick. He's a judgmental dick. And so is the coach character, the coach who's coaching the little reindeers to be bucks. He's a dick. And so I get angry when I watch that show. But the character that I enjoy on that show is the little kid who's hanging, or maybe he's a grown man. Oh, because he's an elf, I guess. The character who's on the island of misfit toys, but he doesn't want to be there. All he wants to be is a dentist, and I believe his name is Hermie.
Yeah, Hermie. Yep.
I like that guy. If you can find a Hermie, you know who combs their hair exactly like Hermie from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Chris Finch, the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah. I guess you're right.
He does, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. He combs his hair like friggin' Hermie
wisp
does.
Like that?
Yes, a wisp.
Yeah, that kid is cute.
A wisp.
I like the Charlie in the Box guy, the Jack in the Box.
Oh, he's a hey, everybody,
yeah,
that kind of a guy. Yeah, he's drunk. The Charlie in the Box. Anyway, Josh, I'm sure you'll come up with something for your Christmas-oriented party.
I don't know. I've heard of a couple already, and I can't compete with that. A buddy of mine, he's going as he and his wife are going as the Wet Bandits.
Oh, that's
from
cool.
Home Alone. I thought that was very clever.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, me and my ex were that for Halloween last year.
Well, throw in a red sweater. You can be there, Kevin. You can join in on it.
That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine?
Blonde little wig on you?
I bet they weren't excited about. They wouldn't be excited about that at all. If I showed up, piggybacked on their great idea.
Yeah, exactly.
You know my bro Jay, who cries at Queensryche concerts?
Yeah.
He was born on Christmas. You can go as Jay.
That would be kind of fun to have to explain it to everybody.
Yeah, I'll give you a picture of him. You got to have a ghillie suit.
I don't have one.
Okay. Well,
what if I go as Jesus? I hear he was born on Christmas.
Oh, for damn.
I bet there's not going to be a Jesus there.
That's incredible. That's a great idea.
And it would be fun, too, for people going, Why are you dressed as Jesus? This is a Christmas party, bro.
That would be very good.
That'd be awesome to get some of those.
Or like dress as a wise man or something like that.
If you could get it done and you go as Jesus, you're going to make, whoever's hosting this party, you're going to make their Facebook page.
Vertically Challenged Jesus said, make a tag for yourself, wrap a ribbon around you, and write on the tag, God's gift to women.
Here we go.
I can't get too crazy. It's a work thing.
You could dress as Bruce Willis from Die Hard.
That's a good one. And then maybe somebody will get drunk and come up to me and want to fight because they don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Start that whole thing.
The possibilities are endless for old Cubby over there. Okay, a little bit later on this morning, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Andrew DePaola, Purple Pick'em, Who Dis. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Back when I needed money, a lot of money, there were things that I did during my I need money years. One was really stupid. I didn't pay any attention to my expense line. I just thought if I keep making more money, life will get better. And that is a total lie. If you never keep track of the bottom line, no matter how much money I made, I spent that and more.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, I would just mess that up.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stupid news. All right. We can go through with that. By damn, Josh, there's a convention for all types these days. Comic book conventions, furry conventions.
Have you ever wanted to go to a particular convention, like maybe a Kiss convention or something like that? Kiss one?
Been to a Kiss convention.
They call it like a Kiss Con, or do they have a
It was just called, this was before con was the hip way to refer to all these gatherings. This was 1996. Kiss had a Kiss convention, travel all over America, and I went. And I loved it. So I've been to one. That was the 96 Kiss convention. I mean, there was so much cool memorabilia up and down, and you guys know that I've been a Kiss dork since I was 5 years old. I've let that go over the last number of years because they became such an absolute embarrassment. But
I'm sorry,
they played
where this was?
Bloomington.
It was Bloomington, okay.
At a not the nicest hotel I've ever been to in Bloomington. They played live. There was a question and answer session with the band, and it was just wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've been to the tattoo convention in Minneapolis a couple times, and that's a lot of fun. It's really cool. Conventions are really cool because it's fun walking into a big room or building just filled with something you love everywhere. It's so awesome.
I'm with you. I like a lot of those. There's a couple I still want to go to that aren't here, but which would require travel, which, I'm out. But there's a couple like that. But all the local ones, I love going to all the shows and stuff like that.
And actually, it's also cool just being in a huge room full of like-minded people that, it's a hobby of yours that might not be completely mainstream or loved by everybody, but you know that everybody there is into it too, and that's always fun.
Yep. Is that your experience at the mental institution, Dana?
Makes him feel better.
Medication time, gentlemen. Medication time. Ashley, if you really want to have nightmares, you can swing by a clown convention. Or here's the one, Josh, where I do believe I'd wake up screaming. And that would be if I spent time at the ventriloquist convention.
No.
Which one of y'all talking to me?
I would not mess with that.
600-700 lunatics running around drunk, making dolls talk to each other. I bet people wake up duct taped in the trunks of cars if they hang out too long at the ventriloquist convention.
It's kind of like the other day in the stupid news where we talked about that woman who brought a gun on the plane because she was going to Australian clown college. And that makes sense. You'd want to go armed if you're going to go to an Australian clown college because you don't know who you're going to see there.
This weekend, there's a convention cutting loose on New York City. And they're loading up on cops to try and control the crowd at the flippin' Santa Claus damned convention.
Every year they talk about how wild this is. These Santas go just buck wild.
I've always heard that other Santas, like they feud with each other.
Oh, is there some
Yeah.
sort of beef between the different St. Nick's?
That's what I've heard. Like usually among the mall Santas, like
Well,
they don't really mess with each other because they like get in on each other's gigs.
Sure.
They've got territories that they don't want stepped on. So
Yeah.
there's a Santa Claus convention going on in New York City this weekend, and they're worried about how to keep these jagoffs in line. And as a matter of fact, New York City has banned liquor on the subway for the duration of the convention. These Kris Kringle wannabes just get too damn loaded. The Santa convention apparently means that folks come from all over the place dressed as Santa Claus or dressed as elves, reindeer, or any other Christmas character they can think of, and they go on a bar crawl until they all their pants. That's what it is. It's just a drinking showdown. No beer or hooch is allowed on buses, light rail, or trains coming up tomorrow in New York City. And like I said, there's going to be double the regular number of cops out on the streets, more than ready to baton any white-bearded peckerhead that wants to start trouble.
I have a couple Twitter mutuals that live in New York, and last year, that's the first time I learned that people that live in New York do not like when people do the Santa bit. Do not like the people running around dressed as Santa, getting drunk at the bars all
The
all
locals
weekend or
aren't in
whatever.
favor of this.
No, I remember one of my friends, she posted a picture of a Santa out on the streets and was like, oh my gosh, it has begun. Like, you're not going to see me for the next couple of days.
There was a situation, locally kind of like that, where a group of guys get together, dress up, and go a little too wild. They had to shut that thing down for a little bit.
Now, you said something a minute ago, Ashley, that I took an interest in. A Twitter mutual. Now, is that what you refer to someone you like on Twitter, but you don't want to call them a friend because you've never met them before?
It means that I follow them and they follow me back.
Oh. Well, then, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, the Santa Claus convention organizers, they sell this event by calling it a, quote, charitable, non-political, nonsensical Santa Claus convention that happens once a year to fund art. I don't know where art comes into play. And spread joy. It sounds like a chug-a-lug to me, Cubby.
Yeah,
but,
it's an excuse to drink. It's become that. It probably didn't start that way. I'd like a stalker mutual. I'd be honored. It doesn't matter who starts it.
You're stalking them and they're stalking you?
Yeah.
Let me know how that turns out.
Trade off a little bit.
I'm sure you could find somebody, Josh.
I've tried.
Have you been the one trying to initiate it? Do they not
Oh,
reciprocate?
yeah. I've been told I am unstalkable. You have to leave the house. It's probably not worth it if you're a stalker. He's in the house again. That's wonderful.
Yeah, your stalker isn't going to put a lot of miles on their bicycle.
No, not at all.
No.
Or they could get a low mileage lease, save a couple of bucks.
All right, sorry, Christmas shoppers. I'm sorry to break this to you. If you were looking to buy your child a Christmas present that could just straight up kill them dead, better luck next year. Says here, one of the most dangerous toys of all time just sold at an auction for over $13,000. Some of you may have heard of this killer toy. I remember reading about it years ago. It's called the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. Now, did any of us play with a damn erector set when they were a kid? And save the pecker jokes for now. Did any of us play with an erector set?
Mm-hmm. I had an answer, but I was told to save it. Yeah.
Can't figure what that is. Oh, yeah.
My neighbor across the alley, he had everything. He had so many cool toys, and he had a couple of them.
I remember, I never had one, but I remember going to buddies' houses. And, you know, when you're like third grader, fourth grader, you're trying to look for something to do. And when that pal would say, hey, do you want to see my erector set? I would say, no. It just sounded so boring and stupid to me, an erector
really?
set.
I want it now.
I had zero interest in it. Absolutely zero. What, you don't got a football around here or a baseball bat? What are you talking about? Do I want to see your erector set? No. If I want to be bored, I'll go back home, you know.
I thought every kid liked erector sets.
Oh, hell no.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, it was fun wrenching away on those things. I loved it.
Just when it was said out loud when I was a kid, I would just cringe. But anyway, here's the story on this all-time dangerous toy I was telling you about. And there's a reason why I brought up the erector set. In 1950, the feller behind the creation of erector sets came up with a new science kit for kids called the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab, and it came with actual uraniums.
Oh.
It seems like that should be more difficult to get, doesn't it?
Yes.
It had 4 glass jars, each with a small amount of radioactive material inside, so you could use a Geiger counter to test the radiation levels. That's just nothing but fun right there.
Was there a time where like it was easy to get your hands on some uranium?
No, and that's why it went away so quickly.
How were they getting this?
Josh is running his Geiger counter over there.
I love the sound of the Geiger counter. I always thought that was cool when they put that in movies.
This kid's toy came with actual radioactive material.
That's
now,
Geiger.
The word is, it wasn't that dangerous as long as you didn't open the jars with the radioactive material inside. But playing with it still, it says here, it still exposed you to the amount of radiation you'd get from a full day in the sun. So nerd kids must have been exhausted in 1950 after they spent the day playing with their uranium. They must have been...
And the parents must be wondering, like, why are you so tan? We've been telling you to go outside. You never go outside.
Right. This is Ohio, and it's February. Why are you so tan? And Josh, how many of those little damn kids in the 50s just went ahead and cracked open those jars and ate up that uranium like it was Pop Rocks?
Oh, you know,
I would have. Yeah.
You know that's happened, for sure.
So,
that's how we got the Avengers.
Well, that's what I did with the Magic 8 Ball. I played with it for a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, this is kind of cool. Now I want to see what's inside of it.
Yeah, you always had to crack open certain toys when you were a kid. The elastic guys, Stretch Armstrong type characters. Yeah. My brother and I each got one, Christmas 1977 or something like that, and it was cool. You had this character, you could pull his arms, stretch it way out, pull his legs, stretch it. We played with, I remember very vividly, we played with these stupid things for maybe 20 minutes before we were slicing them into pieces to see what the hell was going on inside. Like a couple of psycho killers. But
Stretch Armstrong, that was cool.
Yeah.
Outdoor Weed Jesus said his father-in-law definitely played with that radioactive kid all day when he was a kid because he's not right.
No, he's not.
He's not right, he says.
So this is what they were actually selling to kids in 1950. Some say it's the most dangerous toy ever sold. But there's others who go a different route. Something called Radar Magazine named this uranium kit the second most dangerous. Take a wild guess what they gave the top spot to for most dangerous toy ever sold.
Lawn darts.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the uranium kit, what's it called again? The Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab.
It's really dumb name.
Less than 5,000 sets were sold between 1950 and 51. It got pulled from the market thanks to, quote, government restrictions and because it was too hard to get the friggin' uranium. Nowadays, full sets are tough to come by, especially in good condition. And this is where we started with this conversation, an online auction where they sold one of these kits in good condition. They recently had this online auction, and the winning bid was $13,200. The retail price back in 1950 was $50, which was a lot of friggin' money back then.
That's for sure.
All right, with Christmas a-coming and the Christmas Story movie rolling again on 5 different channels at a time. Cubby was just telling us his wonderful story about the time he put his hot little tongue on a frozen metal pole back when he was a kid. It peeled some of the meat off your tongue, and that cheap-ass generic cereal your parents used to buy tasted a little different for a stretch of time, didn't it, Josh?
No taste whatsoever, just pain.
That's crazy.
You recently told us that story. Great story.
Could you see it? I forgot to ask last time. Could you see the skin on the pole?
Yep. Oh. It was a big chunk.
That's nasty.
It was gross.
Bro.
And it lasted. It was so cold, it was what they like to call a polar vortex. And it was so cold, it lasted at the bus stop for probably 4 days. And it kind of became like a tourist attraction amongst the local kids.
Really? You could see some of your tongue meat stuck to the pole until spring.
Yeah, it was about 3-4 days up there.
I bet you a little baby bird or something enjoyed that.
I hope so.
All right. So Josh recently told us his tongue stuck to a pole story, just like that little peckerhead in the movie.
I feel this pain.
You're far from the only sumbitch to F around and find out when it comes to making the mistake of, putting your tongue on a frozen object. We got another one here. The difference being you were effing 9 years old and this guy is grown. Some dumbbell in Sydney, Australia got his tongue stuck after the stupid bastard went ahead and licked an ice sculpture that was setting out on the street.
That's pretty dumb. Have you guys ever had that happen where you, like with ice?
Yeah.
And it's like a moment of panic?
Yeah.
It brings me back to first grade and get my tongue stuck up.
Yeah, I mean, when we were kids, we never had any pop in the refrigerator because the refrigerator was for beer. So our pop would sit out warm in our non-air conditioned house. Our pop would sit out warm, and we'd have to, pour it into a glass with lots of ice in order to make it cold. And every once in a while, you'd get your stupid little tongue stuck on an ice cube, and there was a moment of panic. This dude licked a damn ice sculpture that was setting out on the street. It was set up by the folks from a company called V Energy to promote one of their drinks. Just a big fat-ass block of ice with their name and logo on it and whatnot. So there the poor bastard was on a busy street, people everywhere, wondering what the hell is wrong with him. His tongue is locked onto this frozen sculpture.
I bet he thought he was going to be the funniest guy on that street.
Well, it says here, Josh, word is the weather was hotter than Dutch love, and Dinkus thought he'd lick the frozen block of ice to cool his carcass down a little bit.
Yeah, that's not what happened. I don't believe that at all.
I'm a little confused because I thought it had to, like it being hot, I thought it wouldn't happen then.
Well, this was one hell of a frozen block of ice. You're not following how
I need to look into how that's possible. I guess I always thought that like
one dry
of the reasons
ice.
Why? The dry. Maybe that. Okay.
Have you seen an ice sculpture before? They're pretty friggin'.
Not much,
you have not seen it? Okay. Well, there's something called the what do they call that in town, Josh? The Aquatennial. What do they call it? The
Winter Carnival.
The Winter Carnival. They've got ice sculptures. Go lick one.
I don't think I want to. No.
Chicken. You don't have the balls to lick one.
Oh, you gonna double dog dare me now?
I triple dog dare you.
Triple dog dare?
Uh-oh.
Dude could not get his tongue free from the ice. Everyone's laughing at the prick. At one point, a security guard tried pouring water over the dude's tongue to melt the ice. The story doesn't say how long it took for the dude to finally free himself, but he did. There's videos and pictures everywhere. The V Energy people are digging all this attention.
Oh, I bet this is perfect for them.
They've got big V energy right now with all the stories being written about this.
And they want to hook the street liquor up with some T-shirts and bumper stickers if he contacts them on Twitter. If I'm that dude, Josh, I ignore their offers and I try to move on with my life.
Me too.
Yeah.
I pretend that wasn't me. Okay. Via text here. My mom did not get her tongue stuck to your pole last night. That didn't happen. I wish I had a name so I could out this person. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
She's a saint.
This close to Jesus' birthday, too.
And she's a Christian.
I'll tell you, that's not right.
And apparently, according to listeners, she's a horn dog. You guys picked up on that?
I have.
Once or twice.
They lead us to believe that she's some kind of a sexual animal. Yes, they do. Where are my mosh pit type of people? Text me, 651-989-9393. If you're the type to dive headlong into the mosh pit when one of those damn acid rock shows comes to town. I never understood that bit. But I'd like to hear from you. Again, 651-989-9393.
Only been in one. It was by accident, and I got to second base for the first time in my life, also by accident.
Sweet.
That's right. You punched a gal in the can.
Right, by accident completely. I was at, a Pearl Jam show. They were at First Avenue.
That sucks.
Yeah, when I think of mosh pits, I think of Pearl Jam.
Dude, go to a Pearl Jam show, at least in the 90s. And a buddy of mine had tickets. He couldn't go.
You didn't deserve that, by the way, Josh.
What?
That smart-ass comment.
You know what? Neither did Eddie Vedder. I bet you wouldn't say that to his face. Just like Ashley doesn't have the balls to lick dry ice, you don't have the balls to say that to Eddie Vedder. Anyway, actually, it was an entertaining show. I knew the one song Alive at the time. That's the only song I knew. And so I went, and I thought, I'm going to get as close as I can to see this band. I'd never been to First Avenue. It was my first time there. And then the mosh pit starts. And then I couldn't breathe. And then people, I didn't even know something like, I was going like Poison and Warrant. They didn't do that. And at Pearl Jam, they did. And so I was fighting my way out because I was basically panicking. I was a young man. I was pretty scared. And so I'm kind of fighting my way out. And as I get to the very end, I accidentally I'm like reaching for safety, and I grabbed a girl right by the rack.
Oh, no.
And I think she probably assumed it was on purpose. It wasn't. Hopefully, when she saw my face of panic, it was a combination of, oh, my God, I got to second base, and, oh, my God, I just assaulted a woman by accident.
And I can't breathe.
Yeah,
you had a lot of emotions going.
I was terrified. So a lot happened at that Pearl Jam show.
I'm getting some text messages here from people saying, this is Kidney Stone Jesus. He started the mosh pit at the Metallica concert night 1 this last summer, and he lost his Apple Watch, and his wife was furious.
Oh, no.
Here's a listener who says, mosh pit till I puke. We got moshers out there. There's nothing like a Slayer mosh pit, says a listener.
No, never been a fan.
Who's the Viking theme band where people get in and they pretend to row a boat?
I saw them in concert.
Oh, you did? You saw them?
Yeah, I saw them in concert. They're called Amon Amarth. Amath Amath.
Yeah, you're right there.
Amon Amarth.
Mamanarf.
Yeah.
They're called Mamanarf.
Cool. Their mosh pits are awesome.
I saw Mamanarf open up for Megadeth a number of years ago. There were 3 bands on the bill. There was Somebody, and we didn't get there in time, and then there was Mamanarf, and then Megadeth. Mosh pits. Yeah, I mean, I've smashed myself in with a large crowd at general admission shows or 2 when I was a kid, but the moshing thing, hell no.
That Megadeth show we went to at Myth was packed.
Yeah,
that was no moshing.
No, we all just stood completely
Thankfully.
straight. We couldn't put our hands on our hips.
No, you couldn't move.
No one could
stand
move.
straighter than a Grizzlies D because you couldn't.
We're all sucking in our guts. I mean, that was really tight.
So is this a real problem here? Now that you've texted in and said, yes, I'm a mosh pit type of an individual, Window Jesus says he's been riding the local pit scene since 1985.
Hell yeah.
So now that you've confirmed that you're a mosher, answer me this. Is this a real problem? You go into the mosh pit, and then, by God, you got to take a squeege or cut a turd, but you don't want to go use the bathroom because you don't want to lose your spot in the pit.
It definitely is. Your buddy, remember, wasn't it the Megadeth show or maybe a different show where he had to pee incognito into a garbage can or something like that?
That was, again, a little different just because the crowd was so packed at that Megadeth show. You knew, and we had a pretty decent spot up close to the stage. If you went to take a piss, there's no way you were gonna be standing in the back the rest of the night. But moshers specifically, you can't just go take a whiz and then come back and join the mosh. See, I don't know if this is a real problem, but here is a solution to the I gotta go potty, but I don't want to lose my turn in the mosh pit at the acid rock concert problem, if it actually exists. It says here now, a metal-themed canned water company by the name of Liquid Death has partnered with the adult diaper company Depend to create a special absorbent undergarment that's perfect for moshing.
The scariest place at a show isn't the mosh pit. It's the bathroom. Mile-long lines, slipping on and toilets filled with puke. What's a music fan to do? Introducing the Pit Diaper from Liquid Death. Now you never have to leave the pit or worry about leaks ever again.
Okay. They have a commercial, as you could hear. They're calling this product the Pit Diaper. And it's supposed to look kind of metal. It's a cod piece.
That's kind of cool.
With chains and spikes on it.
It's cool that they thought to do that versus just an adult diaper.
Right, and they said it'll seamlessly blend into any outfit. There's a cute commercial, you just heard it. They say no one will know you're wearing the Pit Diaper, although it does say Pit Diaper on the side of your underwear. So if you're, baggy pants and whatnot, eventually it's going to creep out the back of your moshing. Someone's going to see that you're wearing a pair of underwears that say Pit Diaper. But whatever. It's a real product that you can buy. There are only an extremely limited number of them. They want $75 in trade for a pair of, I don't know how many you get in a pack.
They're sold out.
Yeah, right.
I mean, diapers are pretty expensive.
No, I'm not kidding. They are sold out.
No, they're not.
Yeah, on liquiddeath.com.
Yes, I know what they're putting on the website, but they're not sold out.
I honestly know some weird, dumb people that would probably buy these. I don't know if they would use them seriously, but yeah, sadly.
I mean, you know that gimmick, right, Ashley? A lot of websites do that. Well, sorry, we're sold out. So it appears to be this hot item. So then
you have a limited run it for.
That's my take on it, at least. I'm not buying that we're sold out friggin' gimmick. I've seen it too many times.
There's a couple on eBay right now going for $200.
Ridiculous.
Wow, people are fast.
Dana, isn't your concert slogan, the only time to poo is when the crew plays something new?
Never heard that one before, but I like it. I'm going to use it.
I thought that was your slogan.
It is now.
He's got it tattooed now.
All right, I'm looking at text messages. I still want to know from these moshers, because we heard from many of them. Is that really a problem? Do you worry about having to take a whiz and losing your turn or losing your spot in the mosh pit?
Oh, my gosh. This person says, I know nurses that have used catheters, LOL.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Is it that serious?
People go to the...
I'd rather just wet my pants.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You talking about... Someone said they know someone who went to a concert wearing a catheter?
Yeah.
No, they did not.
No, you got to get away from that person.
Hopefully it doesn't get pulled out. Oh.
Yeah, that's all I could think of. Oh.
That never happened.
No.
Watch out for my pee bag, guys. Don't explode it.
It's everywhere you want to pee.
Yeah.
There's only one situation, Josh, where I wear a diaper to a metal concert, and that's if you and I go to a Maiden concert in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where there's 300,000 people. You've seen those shows.
Right. It's going to take you a week to get to and from the bathroom.
Those people urinate themselves and defecate. They must, or they're wearing that's where I would consider it. But if I'm moshing around and doing my mosh thing, hell, I'll go run and take a whiz and just come back and say, hey, dudes, tag me in. You know what I mean?
This texter, this is right. I remember this on Howard Stern, Richard Christie. He says that he wears diapers to concerts. I remember him saying that. So he's done that before.
If it's one of those massive crowds like you see overseas for Maiden, then absolutely. But if I'm just in the 10th row to see Gwar or something, I can take a piss and come back. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Scrolling through Facebook on the Can Jesus talks about, mosh pits, people have like a bad impression of them, or people are dicks or whatever. And we've heard this before. Like he's saying, that's not the case. Everyone looks out for each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mosh pit etiquette is great, but there's always that one person that ruins it. Like somebody almost hit me in the face once. And so ever since then, I'm like, I'm just not going anywhere near that.
No, I don't have any interest in banging into other people. I'd rather just watch the concert. But no, we've heard that it's a respectful vibe. So you can say there's always one leader, right? You say to the leader, hey, man, I got to cut a deuce.
Pardon me.
When I come back, can I get... I'm sure the guy will be like, yeah, go ahead, cut your deuce, come back. We'll beat the piss out of you when you come back.
Jesse, he texted and said they have condom catheters where it goes on like a condom. So you're not...
Okay, well, that's a little different. Yeah.
That's the one I'd prefer.
I like I like live music, but it's not going to break my heart if I miss 10 minutes because I want to be an adult and urinate in a toilet.
Yeah, that's a little next level for me. I admire the commitment, but no.
What do you think of this from OG's Jesus Ashley? He said, women wear pads, which are basically just diaper thongs.
No, they are not. Do not let women tell you that they are. There is a leakage, baby.
Gotta go. What are we doing next? Oh, yeah, sports.
Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We get a bunch of free sneakers. I wear sweatsuits to work. My kids are healthy. My wife's hot. Like, I got a pretty good life.
I just want to take time to say thank you for my family. My two beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR, as we call him. And, of course, my red-hot smoking wife, Carly, who is a stone-cold fox. Who, if you were to rate her ass on 100, it would easily be a 94.
I want that kind of love.
Little Talladega Nights there for you. The head coach of Louisville's football or basketball team. Who is that guy?
I thought it was football, but now I'm not so sure.
I think it's basketball.
Oh, is it basketball?
He was talking about this and that at a press conference, and he decided to dump in a little information about how he has a hot wife. Okay, so I don't know.
I guess, let's see.
I don't know what got into that guy. All right, we got to get moving. We were talking about pit diapers a minute ago. Now, apparently, this is for you acid rock fans who like to go to the show and dive into the mosh pit and just knock each other into next week. And then someone says, how was the show? And you say, I don't know. I'm just beating the hell out of the next guy.
I have a concussion.
You mosh pit type of characters. So, word is, it's kind of a problem. And I got mixed reviews here on the text message, Josh. I asked mosh pit people, is it a problem when you got to take a squeege to work your way back into the pit? Some said yes, some said no. You go take a squeege, you come back, you work your way back into the pit. It's not a big deal. But the idea behind pit diapers is that you put on these heavy metal-looking adult diapers, and you can just whiz yourself, and you never have to leave the mosh pit. We had a nice conversation about that. Rick Shaw Jesus texted in, and he says, the next acid rock show that comes through town, he says, I'm wearing nothing but my pit diapers and my pit vipers.
Oh, dude.
He's going to look so cool.
Coolest guy at the concert. You know what people are going to do? Like the girls that are lusting after the lead singer, they're just going to brush right by him and go to pit viper, pit diaper guy. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, he's going to steal all the squish that night. Boy, the pigs got double pumped last night. Oh, they got pumped. Yeah. Golden Gopher men's hockey, another series this weekend that should draw a crowd. Michigan State Spartans are in town for a weekend series. Timberwolves got the Los Angeles Lakers in town tonight. LeBron James not going to be there. He's old. He can't. We'll talk to Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Andrew DePaola. We'll get a listener on the line for Purple Pick'em. And a fresh edition of Who Dis coming up in a half hour or so. Stick around for Josh's news report.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
My World with Jeff Jarrett takes wrestling fans behind the scenes, along with King of the Mountain, Conrad Thompson.
I wanted to ask you about what you know, if anything, on the new WWE ID program, where they're apparently going to be working with some independent wrestlers.
My encouragement to any independent wrestler out there, build your value and then understand your value, and then you create your own leverage. There's no substitute for hard work and getting over.
My World with Jeff Jarrett, wherever you listen.
Half-assed Morning Show. 93X.
I'm here to simply put the reasons out there on why I made the choices that I made and took the actions that I did. And just trying to do what I can to make sure my family is taken care of.
And she took care of that by taking her clothes off. A Colorado sheriff's deputy stepped down after her moonlighting gig in adult films came to light. Shannon
Is that right?
Yes. Shanna Hubba Laughlin.
Yeah, no kidding.
A 21-year-old veteran of the department and a driving academy instructor revealed financial struggles had pushed her into the world of adult entertainment. Saddled with debt, soaring living costs, and sky-high interest rates, the 41-year-old mom and wife saw an opportunity to earn some extra cash. Over the course of about a month, she filmed 6 scenes, work she did entirely on her own time, she said. But when the sheriff's office got wind of her extracurricular activities, they launched an internal investigation. Oh, I bet they did. Laughlin admitted she may have overlooked department policies requiring prior approval for side hustles, as they called it in the story. Facing the fallout, she made the decision to resign. This isn't exactly uncharted territory for the area. 3 years ago in the same county, Lieutenant Melissa Williams faced her own scandal after coworkers discovered her OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
At the time, she said she was blindsided by the backlash. I was in shock and panicking because I never wanted these two parts of my life to collide, she explained. She insisted her personal life had zero impact on her job performance and accused her bosses of overstepping boundaries. She criticized the department for interfering with her private life and, quote, policing her bedroom.
Well, F me running. What does this gal go by? This one who recently got in trouble for porno movies? Shanna...
Look, her Shannon.
Shannon.
S-H-A-N-N-O-N. Shannon.
Shannon.
Laughlin. L-O-F-L-A-N-D. The hubba part I added, so don't put that.
F-L-A-N-D. Yeah. Laughlin. Well, ain't that something?
In Stanton, California, a new initiative using mobile cameras with flashing blue lights and speakers on them is making strides in curbing prostitution. Community members, law enforcement, and city staff report these innovative tools are helping to transform the city's streets.
When I came to the city in April of this year, there was a substantial amount of foot traffic in those areas.
They walked into my community very often. A lot of condoms on the ground.
Oh, boy.
That's terrible.
These ladies are being dropped off, hanging out here during the day.
Local leaders say prostitution has plagued the area for years, but as of the past summer, law enforcement now has live stream access to 4 key hotspots in the city using their brand new whore cams. The solar-powered cameras, which are mounted on wheels for easy relocation, are part of the Safe Streets Target Together campaign.
They have whore bots?
Yeah, they do. And residents and officials say they're already noticing a positive impact. These cameras serve as both a deterrent and a tool for enforcement, a police spokesperson said, adding they're particularly effective in discouraging the so-called Johns seeking illegal boinking. One unique feature is the camera's ability to broadcast audio warnings.
You are entering an area known for prostitution and human trafficking.
The warning goes on to say these are serious crimes under state and federal law. Since July, Stanton deputies have conducted 11 undercover operations, resulting in 24 arrests for pimping and hoeing.
It'll really talk to you like that? It'll come off and say, you're entering an area that's known for prostitution.
And you're looking around going, well, all right, I found the right spot.
That would be terrifying if you just had no idea where you were and you got lost and all of a sudden you were notified of that.
Well, since I'm here...
Yeah, and there are condoms on the ground, that citizen said.
Yeah, he's seen them.
That's where they belong. That's where they belong, on the friggin' ground.
Things weren't so peachy in a Georgia middle school classroom after a student decided he'd had enough with another person's inappropriate jokes about his mom. The 11-year-old student named TJ got up from his desk and confronted the source of the comments, his teacher, who also happened to be the school's football coach, betraying elder who was betraying his role as an educator. The confrontation quickly escalated. Words were exchanged, and then Elder grabbed TJ by the chest, lifting him clear off the ground, and in an impromptu physics lesson, flung the preteen across the room, slamming him into a desk right in front of the entire class.
Dude.
As he tried to pick himself up, Elder stood towering over him like a schoolyard bully. Students said Elder's comments were sexual in nature about the boy's mom, including a tasteless remark about leaving his shoes at TJ's mom's house. The fallout was serious. TJ ended up in the ER. He had a concussion and multiple bruises. And by the weekend, Elder submitted his resignation to the district, walking away from his teaching and coaching duties.
He needs to be placed in jail. He hurt my boy.
So far, no lawsuits or criminal charges have been filed against the former teacher now, but those are likely on the way.
Boy, this guy sounds like an incredible friggin' moron.
Yeah. What a
Crazy.
douchebag.
Definitely not teacher material.
He's busting a kid's balls about banging his mom.
An 11-year-old boy
An
in front of
11-year-old.
a bunch of other 11-year-olds.
And when the kid speaks up, he beats the sumbitch.
Yep.
You're a real tough guy.
And he's giant.
Oh, he's big.
A 35-year-old Massachusetts man trying to evade police took an unusual route to freedom down a chimney. But unfortunately for him, his great escape didn't go as planned. The man scrambled onto a rooftop Tuesday night, channeling what the Fall River Police Department humorously described as the essence of a seasonal icon, referencing Santa. However, his attempt to flee came to a screeching halt when he became wedged in the chimney, sparking an unexpected rescue operation.
They always get stuck in the chimney, don't they, Josh?
It never goes well.
Hell no.
It's because they're not magic. That's the only reason Santa can get down.
Yeah, he can squeeze himself down there, can he? Body cam footage captured the chaotic scene. Hey, he's on the roof. Get down here, a detective shouted. Moments later, bystanders alerted officers to strange screaming coming from a nearby chimney.
Oh, I'd be screaming my balls off, too, if I was lodged in one of those pigs.
Sure enough, when detectives climbed up to investigate, they found the man stuck inside. You're an idiot, one officer is heard as they peer down the shaft with a flashlight. I'll play that in a second. Firefighters were called to the rescue, carefully removing bricks to free the man from his self-imposed predicament.
Hey, he's on the roof. Get down here. He's in the chimney. You're an idiot. Get up. Are you stuck? Perfect, huh? There you go. My leg, man.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, perfect. Way to go. They kept messing with this guy.
Now he's whining like a little kid.
Yeah.
Ouch, ouch.
Police couldn't help but poke fun at the incident afterward, posting, due to his Santa antics, the man was transported to a local hospital out of caution, they wrote. Meanwhile, another suspect who'd been with him chose a more conventional escape method, jumping off a roof and over a fence, and he successfully eluded capture. Locally, police say a Grinch in Northfield chopped down a Christmas tree, which was supposed to be part of the Winter Walk. Now, in its 26th year, the Winter Walk includes live music, fireworks, carolers, fire pits, and plenty of shopping. No motive, other than simply to be a dick, has been given.
Well, that ruins the Winter Walk.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
And I've been counting on that sumbitch.
Got to get my steps in somehow.
An 18-year-old in Louisiana has been arrested for pulling off not one, but two robberies of the same Domino's delivery driver in the same week on the same street. Montrell Ism was taken into custody Tuesday, accused of targeting the driver in a pair of bold and bizarre incidents.
Ism is the last name.
Yes.
I've never heard that one before.
The first robbery happened just after midnight, November 29th. A Domino's driver, thinking he was making a routine delivery, was met by the suspect, who snatched the pizza, demanded $20, and fled. Fast forward 7 days, the same delivery driver found himself on the same street facing the same suspect. This time, however, the suspect dressed in dark clothes, partially masked and armed with a gun. He again forced the driver to hand over another pizza and another $20.
Dude.
Investigators cracked the case by tracing the phone number used to place the bogus delivery orders. He used his phone and the same one. When they searched his home, they discovered a discarded Domino's pizza box in the trash, which they identified as key evidence.
You like tongue twisters, Josh?
I do.
Try this one real fast. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Ism.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Ism.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd get tied up by that one. Ism, it's a first for me.
A 21-year-old New Hampshire man found himself in a whopper of a mess after a sword attack Monday afternoon ripped straight from a medieval fantasy if the kingdom was ruled by the Burger King. Manchester police got the call about 2:50 p.m., reporting a stabbing. When they arrived, they said the victim that is, said that Gavin Brown charged at him with a 2-foot sword, leaving him with a nasty cut on his hand. After the swashbuckling showdown, Brown made a run for it, but he didn't exactly vanish into the mist. Police tracked him down in no time at a Burger King and arrested him on first-degree assault charges.
Did he have the sword at Burger King, too?
No, he didn't have the sword with him.
That's too bad.
Yeah. New in theaters this week, Kraven the Hunter, an action-packed R-rated standalone story of how one of Marvel's most iconic villains came to be. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Kraven, a man whose complex relationship with his ruthless gangster father, Nikolai, played by Russell Crowe, starts him down a path of vengeance with brutal consequences, motivating him to become not only the greatest hunter in the world, but also its most feared. Streaming this weekend, a young TSA agent fights to outsmart a mysterious traveler who blackmails him into letting a dangerous package slip onto a Christmas Eve flight in Carry On, now boarding on Netflix. Jason Bateman is the enigmatic blackmailer. The film's been drawing comparisons to classic Christmas-time action films like Die Hard. On Paramount Plus, the premiere of the prequel series to the acclaimed serial killer show Dexter, Dexter Original Sin. The series, debuting today, explores the early life of Dexter Morgan in 1991 Miami, focusing on his transition into an avenging serial killer. Guided by his adopted father, Harry Morgan, Dexter learns to channel his dark urges by adhering to a code which targets those deserving of elimination. The cast features Patrick Gibson as a young Dexter Morgan, Christian Slater as Harry Morgan, and notably Michael C. Hall, who originally played Dexter, returns as the narrator.
I love Dexter, but I knew it was getting kind of out of hand when I was watching one of the times, and I thought, why doesn't he just kill that person? Just kill them.
I feel the same way, where at first it was a little disturbing and unsettling, and after a while you're like, well, I guess he's not going to kill the guy. Fine.
I would have killed him.
Whole episode. Right. Not going to kill him. Yeah, I felt the same way. I'm looking forward to this. I've heard mixed reviews.
Oh.
I watched a couple of behind-the-scenes things on YouTube, and some of the casting was perfect.
Oh, all
really
right.
seemed like younger versions of the original cast.
I'm excited.
Now on Max, the streaming premiere of the Joker sequel. On Peacock, the streaming premiere of Conclave, the religious thriller starring Ralph Fiennes as a cardinal investigating secret political factions. And Chris Rock hosts Saturday Night Live. Registration's now open for the 2-day Drop Shot Pickleball event happening January 11th and 12th in Shakopee, benefiting the Randy Shaver Cancer Research and Community Fund. Last year, the event raised over $15,000 to support Minnesota's cancer community. All skill levels are welcome, $120 per team, prizes for the winners. Special thanks to their great sponsors on the champion level, Culver's, Rock Elm, and Dalen Sign Company, along with ace sponsors, South Metro Federal Credit Union, Shields, and Office Centers. RandyShaverCancerFund.org is where you can find out more information. We send our best to Remodeling Jesus and family who have a tough milestone today. Their son passed earlier this year, and today would have been his birthday.
Oh.
And so we know it must be an incredibly tough day, so our thoughts are with you guys today. But you didn't mean not to, Jesus. Text in a warm happy birthday to his brother Neil, turning 47, and that's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
That's more encroachment when you go that far. You go, what? That's more than encroachment.
Touchdown! Vikings win it! On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I have personal security just because my house had gotten broken into, not necessarily my house, but one of my cars. And so it's a little too close for my comfort with my family being in the house. Just to let that be known, they are armed. So I hope if you decide to go to my house, you think twice.
Burglars have been warned by that adorable little quarterback from the Miami Dolphins, Tua. He says if these If these derelicts who are kicking down every NFL player's door these days, if they stop by his place, he's got dudes hanging out there that are armed.
They're good to go.
There's going to be a gunfight at Tua's place.
That's pretty cool.
I hope there's not a gunfight at Tua's place. He says when he leaves town, he's got armed fellers hanging around. So go ahead, stop on by
I
whenever
like
you
that
feel
a
like.
lot. Yeah.
That guy's awesome. Yeah. All right, things are really ready to get ridiculous here. We got everyone in the mix. Good morning to Randy Shaver. Good morning to Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
And welcome back to the show, Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaola. How are you, Andrew?
I'm great. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good, man. And thank you for asking. You're back now, right? You're back?
I'm back. I'm back.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Back, everything's cool. Health is back up to schneid. Accurate statement on my part?
I would say so, yeah. I would say so. You know, you've been pretty accurate, this whole time I've been on the show, so.
Is that my thing? Accuracy is my thing?
Are you on another radio show that you're confusing this one with?
Wow.
I appreciate that because I like to think of myself as quite inaccurate.
Just trying to hype the team up this morning, guys.
He's a good teammate like that. That's why he's a captain on the Vikings.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's go, guys. Let's be accurate this morning. All right, Andrew. Welcome back to the program. You know, the biggest football story going around is Bill Belichick going ahead and agreeing to coach college football at the University of North Carolina. Lots of folks are saying this and that about it. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we've heard your story. What was your experience like as far as picking a school to play ball at? Was it a process? What was your story there with you and Rutgers?
Ooh, yeah. My story with that is pretty unique. So that was the only D1A school to offer me a walk-on spot, so I took it.
So it wasn't much of a process.
Nope.
Well, I bet that's cool, man. I mean, look at you now, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like a few, you can't really call them offers, because I don't think like D2 and D3 do like sports scholarships, but had some like, financial aid packages that they were trying to give me to go to these smaller schools. I kind of just wanted to test the bigger school out and see what that was all about, and I figured like, well, worst comes to worst, can always just transfer if I need to. But never came to that, and it worked out, so I'm glad I picked where I picked.
Were you one of those walk-ons that eventually got some scholarship help, after a couple of years, and you sticking around with the team?
Yeah, I did. My fourth year, I earned a full scholarship. Well, funny story. So my freshman year, first year there, we get there, fall camp, everything's going well. About like 2 months in, like my mom sends me the bill for college, and it says 0. And she's like, hey, like, is this, like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. It says 0. Like, did you guys pay? She's like, no, we haven't paid a thing. And I was like, all right, well, look, I'm not going to say anything. Like, he said 0. I'm not gonna correct them, And so then, nobody came knocking on our door, hounding us the next semester. Same thing. A month or two in, she's like, our bill is still 0. I'm like, look, let's not ruin a good thing. I don't know what to tell you. So towards the end of that last semester, my head coach, Greg Schiano, calls me into his office. He's like, hey, look, this is nothing you did wrong. It wasn't on your part. Compliance messed up. They accidentally put you on full scholarship for the first year, which put us over. We were at like 86 full scholarships. And I guess to be compliant, you're only allowed 85. So we actually told on ourselves. They cost us 5 scholarships for the next 2 years, and we were like, I'm not really in trouble, but they were like, all right, we're going to cost you, a handful of scholarships. And he reassured me. He's like, you did nothing wrong, but they messed up, and now we have to pay for it. And I was like, all right, well, I don't owe any money, do I? He's like, nope. You got a 3-year college.
Dana, didn't you have a similar college experience, but the 0 was your grade point average?
Exactly.
I thought you were going to say some rich booster under the table got involved somehow.
Yeah, me too.
No, I wish I wasn't involved in any of those stories. I wish that would have been fun.
Depot, we've been.
So Andrew, had you told on yourself and said, "Hey, we've got a 0 balance. after the first semester, would it have saved Rutgers the scholarship issues, or were they already in trouble at that point?
That's a good question. I think they would have gotten it corrected. I'm assuming. That's just kind of because it was kind of early. You know, it was like maybe the end of August, end of September. So I think they would have got it corrected and been like, okay, we're good. We're in compliance.
Having worked a little bit in college athletics, the sooner you self-report, the better. And I think if you would have self-reported earlier, they probably wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Shady story, Andrew DePaola. Shady.
Ashley has a similar one, but the zeros are checking account balance.
Ain't that the truth?
Depot, we've been getting texts saying you had a very nice interaction with Kirk Cousins, and that has been going kind of viral on social media.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys did. I think a lot of guys were, excited to see him. I mean, what he meant to this team and a lot of people on this team, that's obvious in that little video that they posted. But, yeah, Kirk's my guy, and I was happy to see him. I'm glad the score wound up what it was. But, still, always happy to see that guy. What he did for me and my family, I'll never be able to repay him. But, we're still close.
Yeah, it's cool. You guys stomped the Falcons' guts out in that friggin' ball game. I'll tell you that, too. I mean, your current quarterback is the NFC Offensive Player of the stinking week.
He should be. They should be talking about him more.
Well, he's getting a lot more conversation the last few weeks. There's no question about it. I think all of us probably read this article that started flying around a couple days ago. I know it's a big locker room there, Andrew DePaola, but are you familiar with your teammate Nudie?
Yeah, I sure am.
Everyone's talking about Nudie. This is a rookie cornerback on your roster by the name of Dwight McGlothern, and he got to make his NFL debut last Sunday in that blowout win over the Falcons. Got to play a handful of snaps. I mean, it made his dreams come true. He's mentioned, or a comment is mentioned here in the article about him, saying it was everything I dreamed of. Signed as a free agent in the spring. Dwight McGlothern, nickname Nudie. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, are you familiar with this story yet?
No.
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. He got the nickname Nudie. His uncle gave him the nickname when he was a tiny little kid because he had a habit of taking off his diaper when he was a little kid and just running around the house ass naked.
It's pretty cute.
So they gave him the nickname Nudie. That's a good one. And even, all you guys on the ball club are familiar with the nickname, and it was even shouted at him before he, got out on the field to take his first snap. The coach said, Nudie, get your ass out there. That's a cool name. And this uncle who gave him the name passed away, so Dwight has chosen to, make sure it sticks with him. That's not a bad little story and a cute nickname.
Yeah, that's quite adorable.
Does everyone call him that, Andrew?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know there was that story behind it. I always wondered. But, yeah, we all call him Nudie.
Yeah, he had a bad habit of getting ass naked when he was a little baby. Well, my brother's son had that problem, too.
I don't know how to not make this sound creepy, but little kids do love to be nude all the time.
Yeah, they hate wearing clothes.
And sometimes I've noticed, that like our kids, they'd surprise us with nudity for comedy or whatever it was, where you turn around and go, how did you get naked so fast?
Yeah, it's a thing. And there's a funny story about my brother's son when he was a tiny little kid. Yeah, he was often nude. And my brother and his wife would have to say, let's put a diaper on this damn thing. My dad, so this would be the child's grandfather, they had a cool relationship. And whenever my dad would be fixing something around his house, his grandson always wanted to help him, like little kids get interested in that kind of thing. And my dad would always say, you want to be a worker man? And the little kid would be like, yay, a worker man. And so that was their gimmick for a while. Whenever my dad had a chore around the house, his grandson would want to help him out. And one day my dad was under the sink fixing some plumbing issue, and he says to his grandson, "Do you want to be a worker man today?" And the kid says, "Yes, I want to be a worker." And 5 minutes go by, and his grandson returns wearing like a little, those little kids' tool belts they'll hand out, they'll sell at the store so the kid can pretend. So the kid comes around the corner, and he's ass naked, but with a tool belt on.
Oh, my heart.
And when my dad, pulls his head out from under the sink, there's the naked kid right in his face. And my dad, the famous line is my dad says, "Now, we got to make something clear here. Worker man's got to at least have pants on."
Andrew, are any of your kids, or were they, the naked baby in the family?
No, not. I'm trying to think. No, not really. I mean, they love, it's funny now. They're like, "Can we take a bath?" Or they're in the showers now. Like, "Can we take a shower?" And the minute my wife says, "Yeah, okay," you turn around and they're naked. They were fully clothed. And they're like, "We want to take a bath. We want to take a bath." And you're like, "Okay, let's go take a bath." And you turn, and they're going up the steps, and it's like, well, why am I seeing two naked butts running up? How did they get naked so fast?
Yeah, good times. Being a special teamer, Andrew, and one of the best in the business, I'm sure you take an interest in this and have heard the story many times. This conversation is gaining steam again now about changing the onside kick next football season. This rule has been brought up year after year after year, and it seems as if it gets approval until the owners get involved, and the owners say no. So for folks who aren't familiar, there's another movement here to get rid of the onside kick before next football season and change it to a situation where the team that's trailing gets a 4th and 20, and they have one play to gain those 20 yards. If they do, they get possession of the ball. Your thoughts on this, Andrew DePaola?
Oh, man, would it be cool? I think the fans would love it. It's another offensive play. However, in my professional opinion, the way the NFL is going is it's just so offensive driven, offensive related, that I think it's too easy to pick up a 1st and 20
Yep.
nowadays. I think there's too many DPI calls, illegal contact. Yep. It's so easy to get that first down. And I think teams will figure that out, and it'll just be another, all right, well, we got to buckle up, and hopefully they mess up sort of thing.
I'm very happy to hear you say that. Go ahead, Randy Shaver.
I was going to say maybe 20 yards is too short. Maybe it should be like 4th and 30 or something like that. That's a little bit more challenging, but because it seems like 20 yards is pretty easy to get. You see these quarterbacks with very little time on the clock driving a team down the field for a game-winning field goal. It takes them like 3 plays to get 70 yards or 60 yards or whatever it is. So
hell yeah.
I agree. I think it changes a lot if they decide to go that direction.
You're right. I'm so happy to hear you say, Andrew DePaola, you think there's too many defensive pass interference calls. There's too many illegal contact calls. Mm-hmm. I've been saying this for years. The defense is so friggin' handcuffed these days, and I think that was by design, so the final score can more often be 45-42 as opposed to last night's game. What was it, 12-6 or something?
Yeah,
so dumb.
Yeah.
The defense is so friggin' handcuffed, and I've been saying for years, I think it should be the Wild West when you throw a friggin' pass. Mm-hmm. I think you should be allowed all the contact in the friggin' world when you throw a pass, because these athletes are so friggin' good now and so strong. I say throw pass interference out the friggin' window. You want a wide receiver to really prove his worth? He's going to make that catch with a guy all over him. I know that's a little bit of an extreme way to go with this, but I think the offense gets too many favors as well these days. It does suck that the onside kick has become an impossibility that also, I'm not in favor of that. The onside kick, there used to be a chance. There's really not a damn chance nowadays.
Well, I think another way you can deter teams from just rolling the dice in the middle of the game and trying that 4th and 20 play is if you run that play at like your own 20-yard line. Push them back to run the play so that if they don't make it, then the other team gets the ball like at the 20.
Sure, okay. All right. Well, who knows if it'll happen every year. Like I said, it seems to be on the horizon and then it gets squashed. But there was a recent article saying it could be closer than it's ever been this year. And there you go.
And everyone laughed when I said you were accurate usually on this show. Look at that.
You're damn right, Andrew DePaola. Damn right. Another cute little proposal that I read. Again, not going to surprise anybody because this conversation's come up before. What are your thoughts, Andrew, on an 18-game schedule?
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Are you going to reduce the number of preseason games then?
There's just so much that's going to go into that. It's not as simple as just like 18 games. In all honesty, you need to revamp the entire work year for the NFL. That's what needs to happen because, we're seeing now the effects of the 17th game on some of these guys. And, we're not seeing that for a few seasons of having it. So that really, really needs to be looked at pretty intensely just from an overall yearly schedule setup because just a whole nother game of pounding on these guys. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I want to see it? Do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. But that needs to be a long, long conversation about the work year for these guys.
If you do an 18-game schedule, then likely you'd have to have 2 bye weeks during the year to give yourself. Now you're talking 20-week season, basically. And you're right. The regular season is already now bleeding into January, where it never used to do that before. And Brad was talking about less preseason games. I'm sure guys would be okay with that, but those still play a role in deciding rosters and everything else. So you're right. You're kind of squeezed there a little bit and trying to figure out what does that look like as far as the calendar goes in making all that work. That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you guys this, but that whole schedule with the 18th game has already been. It's already they've already got that figured out.
Yeah, they've already mocked it out. Yeah,
they know when to start. They know how many bye weeks. They know how the season's going to go, and then they know when the Super Bowl is going to be played. So they have that whole schedule already figured out and talked about. Now it's about what happens from the day after the Super Bowl until really that first game. All that is still up for discussion.
God dang. All right. No amount of financial success is good enough for the NFL. Roger Goodell, your boss, he says that they're currently doing analysis, and it sounds like they've gotten a lot further than that, on a potential 18-game schedule. Speaking of your schedule, does this Monday night Chicago Bear thing, does that mesh with your schedule? You're available?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Good.
I'll be there. You count me in.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and good luck Monday night. We'll be watching you boys against the Bears. Always fun talking to you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
So long, my man. We got to wait till Monday night for that Bears game. By the way, that tool bag Lions fan who couldn't help but get all fresh with Packers coach Matt LaFleur last week had his season tickets revoked.
Oh.
I bet that sumbitch is heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure
they're finally good for the first time in his life, and now he can't go to games anymore.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
How many home games they have left? 2, maybe? And then I'm guessing
playoffs.
Season ticket holders get some kind of special treatment for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
He really screwed the pooch.
This dude.
Home game for the NFC Championship. Can't go.
Oh, that's hilarious. They sent him an email and said the Lions. I guess I'll go ahead with the backstory, of course, if you don't know what we're talking about. This Lions fan who got on the field before their home game against the Packers, he was part of the crowd that was holding the American flag for the national anthem. Maybe a little, what's the word I'm looking for, Josh? A little bonus for season ticket holders. Maybe that was the setup, I would imagine. He gets on the field. He sees the Packers filing over to their sideline, and he can't help himself because he's one of these gung-ho NFL hard-ons. And he starts dumping throat slash gestures at the Packers, and next thing you know, he's in the head coach's face, and he gets thrown out. They sent him an email and said the Lions Ford Field and the NFL will not tolerate illegal or disruptive behavior. So long, season ticket sucker.
Sucks to suck.
It does suck to suck.
Yeah, she's on to something there.
And you're right. I didn't think about this. This is probably the year that Detroit Lions fans, this is probably going to end up being the year they've been dreaming about from day one. And he's going to have to just be sitting on his couch with the rest of the suckers.
And he did it to himself.
He did it to himself. As a grown man, he couldn't control himself at the sight of the Green Bay Packers on the sideline. I love that story.
On the topic of the NFL maybe moving to 18 games a season, elementary school custodian Jesus said that would mean the Super Bowl would be President's Weekend, so a lot of people would have Monday off.
I think that's the plan.
I'm down for it. Let's go.
I think that's the plan, is to put it that weekend and do that and add another bye week. And
we've been waiting for that day off.
Yeah.
Everyone gets that day off?
Well, I don't think everyone, but...
More people will now.
More people will now.
Yeah.
That's the grand plan, Brad Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's have some fun by finding out who this is that's waiting on the telephone line right now. If you're new to this gimmick, we got somebody waiting on the line, and that somebody is a somebody, if you know what I mean. A name everyone should recognize. And I'll even go on and say a personal all-time favorite of mine. They're waiting patiently right now. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Your job is to figure out who this is. Now, you're allowed to ask simple yes or no questions, and we've asked our guest to answer those questions with a simple yes or no. Our listening audience can, of course, listen in and see if they can figure it out. Randy and Brad, let's get her done. Randy, would you like to start off this edition of Who Dis? Your first yes or no. Well, first off, let's just have our guest say hello.
Hello.
There we go, Randy Shaver. Your first yes or no question.
Are you a former Minnesota Twin?
Oh.
No.
No, not a former Twin, Randy Shaver. Brad Ryder?
Are you a current broadcaster of a Minnesota team in town?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, can I guess?
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Brad, the game, the way we do this is you just go as long as you think it takes.
Michael Grady.
No!
Oh.
Nope.
I should have let our guest answer, but I got excited. The guess was Michael Grady. That is inaccurate. But what we've learned is he does broadcast for a local ball club.
Yeah.
All right, Randy Shaver.
Do you broadcast for the Twins?
No.
Not you got baseball on your mind this morning, Randy.
Are you Michael Grady's partner on television?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This guy doesn't even like Michael Grady.
Oh, don't say that. You might like him a lot.
Randy Shaver.
I'm kind of stumped. Do you broadcast Minnesota Wild games?
Nope.
No. He hates Michael Grady and hockey. I'm speaking for our guest now, and that's improper.
You have to stop doing
that. No, I won't do
that.
that.
Speak for people.
I shouldn't do that, but I do.
You say some horrible things.
I do.
Do you broadcast Golden Gopher hockey games?
No.
Well, no. Randy Shaver, maybe I mean, of course, we could just sit here and say, well, what about the Wolves and what about maybe there's a question that could send us,
Are you a former player who is broadcasting?
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of how they do it. Brad Ryder, we're playing Who Dis. We've got a big shot on the telephone. Brad and Randy threw yes or no questions, trying to figure out who this is.
Wow, I didn't think I'd have to ask this, but do you work for another radio station in town?
Nope.
You see, it's...
You see where I was going with that?
Yeah, I'm going to give a little hint, Brad Ryder. someone, well, maybe this isn't common knowledge.
Oh, wait.
Okay, Randy, you have something on your mind?
Is this Ben Lieber?
Nope. That's why I kind of asked what I asked. Yeah. What were you going to say, Nick?
Well, one of the people who you thought who this is, my memory is our guest, maybe close personal friends with someone who you, Brad Ryder, thought who this is. And then when we find out who this is, they can clear that up. But I believe they're tight friends. I think, is it Randy Shaver's turn?
No, it's Brad.
Brad Ryder's turn. Local broadcaster. Nothing to do with the Twins, hockey, no. What else have we covered, Josh?
Basketball.
We mentioned that he was a professional athlete at one point. Or?
Yeah. Brad, you guys are really going to be mad at yourselves.
Yeah, I can tell I'm already
going to be mad at yourselves because I know.
Did you play professionally in Minnesota? No.
No, not Minnesota. But you didn't.
Not professionally.
Well, played professionally, but not in Minnesota.
Not in Minnesota, right?
But you didn't have to. You didn't. I'll give a hint. You didn't have to go far to see him. You didn't have to go far from Minnesota to see him play professionally. Randy Shaver.
Gosh,
Listeners know it. People are texting in with the correct answer.
Nice.
I'm sure it's an easy answer, and I'm drawing a blank.
How else could we help Randy Shaver?
Yeah,
we could. I mean, do we give away the college he went to, or is that going to be too obvious?
Well, maybe at this point we want obvious.
Yeah, maybe we do.
Because,
Yeah, I'm stumped.
I'm gonna need something to eat eventually today.
Wait, would you want like some cheese? What do you think you'd want to eat?
Randy Shaver. Cheese is a hint.
Okay.
Oh, can I take one more guess and then I'll throw out the
Yeah, take a guess, Brad, because I'm...
is this Kevin Lynch?
You dumb. No.
No?
It's not Kevin Lynch. I'm racking my brain as to how to help you boys out.
I think we should give out the college. And then I think
where he went to college?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask our guest. Did you attend the University of Minnesota?
Yes.
Yeah. Attended the University of Minnesota. Calls local games now. I'll give out one more hint. Saturdays. He works on Saturdays.
Sure does.
Daryl Thompson.
Thank you.
Daryl Thompson. God.
Randy, I'm sad that you're the first person that ever interviewed me in high school. I've known you for almost 40 years.
I interviewed you at Bloomington Jefferson High School when you played for Rochester John Marshall. God darn it.
I know. Yeah, the first person ever interviewed. That was when I was like, oh, this is what an interview is like. He's a nice guy.
Now you have a totally different opinion.
Yeah.
I think this text...
You erased me from your mind.
You forgot him. This says it all to me, this text that just came in. It's Daryl Thompson. F!
Yes. Welcome to the Half-Ass Morning Show, Daryl Thompson, one of my all-time favorites. And great work you do calling Golden Gopher football games. God, it's cool to still have you in town, Daryl. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It was nice to get the opportunity to be here and be part of it this morning.
And I'm right. What I was trying to hint at with Brad Ryder there, you and Jim Peterson are bros.
Oh yeah, we're tight. We talk a lot. Yeah, he's working tonight. Yeah, so yeah, Jim is he's a dear friend.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Randy and Brad struggled so badly because I know they're both big fans.
Well, I guess we kind of always think about professional teams when we do this. So I was really not in the Gopher mode of.
And the other thing I always think of is what's going on in the news or what's going on in the world right now.
Yep.
And so I kind of equate it to that. And since we're a couple weeks outside of the Gopher football season, I wasn't even thinking that.
Daryl, do you enjoy Duke's mayonnaise?
I'm gonna try some. I'm not a big mayo guy, but I might have to try some since I'm gonna be at the Mayo Bowl early in the year.
You and the you'll be going down to North Carolina to call the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl, Golden Gophers and Virginia Tech. We've been talking about how, fun atmosphere and everything, but we don't know if we can handle watching PJ Fleck get soaked with a barrel of mayonnaise at the end of the book. You have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I think we could definitely handle that. I think that would be a lot of fun. He's got energy. Knowing PJ, he'll turn it into an opportunity to recruit or raise money or do something around that. So I think that'd be pretty fun if he got stopped with a bucket of mayo or whatever it might be.
Well, even if you weren't calling games for the Golden Gophers, you'd probably be making this trip because you have a son on the team.
Oh no! My sons are they're out in the world working, and my youngest son's a basketball player, and our oldest son is working downtown at a financial institution. So
I thought you had one. I know you have a son that plays basketball.
Yep, I do.
At Indiana.
Yeah, well, he's actually done. He's playing in the Memphis Grizzlies G League team. He had a game. He had a game last night. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool to see your kids doing things like that.
Oh, it's a blessing to watch them just to go through their life, but for sure to kind of following what you were part of for a long time ago.
Do you ever think about that terrible TV show we were on together all those years ago, Daryl?
He was on that with you?
Do you ever think about that show, Daryl?
I do.
I loved the people, but it only lasted like 2 weeks. What a weird deal that was. Years ago, Daryl and I...
I think it lasted 5 weeks. But
was it 5 weeks?
It wasn't very long.
Years ago, Daryl and I were invited to be on the... Do you remember the name of the program, Daryl?
Oh, vaguely. I can't remember what it was, but it was something kind of weird name, like a play on something that was already on TV.
It was called On the Carpet.
Yeah, On the Carpet, right.
This was on Fox Sports North or something for a very brief period of time. And I remember, I got invited to be in the program. Daryl, the people there were great. Daryl Thompson, Burt Blyleven, Clay Matvick, Scott Leyes.
Oh, man.
That's a star-studded show.
Bob Sansevier, Laura Shera, who we're going to be hanging out with tomorrow night. But it was just so weird because the dude who organized the show, he had us all in a room and he said, "Here we go. We're going to call the show On the Carpet." And everyone said, "Huh?" Do you remember that, Daryl?
I do.
And the guy
said, there was a lot of huh moments in that that never came through. Yeah.
And we said, collectively, we don't get the title. And he said, well, you know how when you're sitting around the house and having a conversation, you say, "Hey, let me throw this out on the carpet." You know how you do that? And we all said, no.
The table, maybe.
And it only lasted a few weeks, and it went straight into the toilet. But that was how I met Daryl and Scott Leyes and Clay Matvick. And, I was really lucky because that was a fun group.
It was a fun cast. It was certainly a fun cast.
So, what else is going on, Daryl Thompson? You'll be heading down to North Carolina. What else keeps you busy?
Well, currently, I run a youth program. That's what I've been doing for the last 29 years. Since I got done playing football, I've been working for Boulder Options in the community here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And then I was down in Rochester for an advisory board meeting. So Boulder Options is what has been my life's work. Besides my kids and my family and everything else, but my life's work has been Boulder Options for the last 29 years. It's a mentoring program here, and so that's what I've been doing, and that's actually where I'm headed right now. I'm headed into the office.
There you go. What was it like? Was it last year, 2 years ago, where Mo Ibrahim took the record away from you?
It was cool. It was kind of bittersweet. It's fun when he's the all-time leading rusher. And they've been saying it for my entire broadcasting career. So now it's it's changing, but it was he's a great young man, a great back, and now he's the record holder.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell when listening to you calling those games when he was approaching the record. I could tell you were proud. Nobody wants to see their name get bumped off the top of any list, but I mean, I think the vibe that you gave off on the radio was that if it was going to be anybody, you were cool with it being Mo.
Yeah, and he is a class act. He's a great young man, and he's back here doing some work and coaching with the team. And I think he's going to be a coach. Seems like that's his passion, and he's doing a great job.
So the first guy to ever interview you was Randy Shaver, huh?
Yep, my first TV interview.
What did Randy come off like back then?
Oh, he was smooth back then. He had the dark hair, the slick back, the Pat Riley look. Yeah, he had it going on.
Pat Riley, huh?
Yeah.
Randy Shaver, what do you think of that description of the 1986 version of yourself?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I think I had the Chia Pet for hair, but interviewing Daryl Thompson was amazing because he was by far maybe the best high school football player I've ever seen in Minnesota. Obviously had the great career at the University of Minnesota and then played in the NFL as well. But throughout all of that time, he has still been the same person through all the success that he's had, through all the things that he's accomplished in his life. He's always been the same person. And when you're in the media and you interview people and you get to know people, those are the ones that you appreciate the most because their success, their fame, their whatever, their standing doesn't change who they are. And that's who Daryl is. And, you could probably name, of all the professional athletes that I've known in the 40-plus years I've been here, I could probably name only about 10 that are really that kind of a person because they're just not, they're rare. When you meet someone who is the same person now that he was 30 years ago, so I mean, that's a credit to him because he, and I would say that regardless of whether he was on the radio with us right now or not, he's just one of those guys that just,
Are you blushing yet, Daryl?
Very much embarrassed, but thank you, Randy. And it's been a pleasure to work with you over the years and be part of everything you've been a part of as well.
And Daryl Thompson, there are lots of listeners texting in right now saying they've had brushes with you back in Rochester or since, or when you were with the Gophers or when you were with the Packers, and they're all saying you're one of their favorite people. And I could say the same thing. I mean, that goofy TV show that we were on, it only lasted 5 weeks. Nobody got paid. But we didn't care because we had a good time. Like I said, it was such a great crew, and that's where I met you first. And I was a fan of yours as a kid, and I just thought, I couldn't have asked for a better experience than sitting around with you and the rest of those folks on that TV show. That's where I learned that you were every bit of what Randy Shaver was just saying. So we thank you for that, and thank you for your time, Daryl, and we look forward to seeing you around. We'll see the game, January 3rd. January 3rd.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. Take care.
Duke's Mayo Bowl. Thank you, Daryl Thompson.
Yep, see ya.
See you later. Who dis today's guest?
Brad.
What about Brad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what?
How did we not get that with the?
I don't know. That was embarrassing for both of us.
You know what? That's what really threw me off. Is I'm trying to match the voice to the person, and I just drew a blank.
Like I said, my whole gimmick on this thing is what's going on right now, and Gopher football is out of my mind right now. I mean, it is. So I
don't beat yourself up, Brad Ryder.
Yeah, it sounded like you had it right away. I thought you were going to.
Speaking of embarrassing, the Pigs got double pumped raw last night at home playing the Edmonton Oilers. I didn't see that one coming.
No, they haven't had many of those this year.
Sure. I know there are a couple, 3 terrific players out injured, but I didn't see that one losing by 6 damn goals. Well, they got pumped right in front of their wives, girlfriends. A couple of the players might have had their kids watching the game, for God's sake.
Not the kids.
Oilers 7, Pigs 1. They're going to play at home against the Philadelphia Flyers here in town tomorrow afternoon. Then they got a game at home against Las Vegas on Sunday night. Golden Gopher hockey. This is a number 1-2 type of a setup. Golden Gopher hockey hosts Michigan State this weekend. Wolves got the Lakers tonight. No LeBron or LeBronny.
Actually, I think the Lakers are down quite a few guys tonight.
Yeah.
There you go.
Long list of guys who are out.
You two boys. Randy
how about the former Gopher walking off the field last night before the game ended?
Yeah, I was waiting for this
The
to come
49ers and the Rams play last night. Devondre Campbell quit on the 49ers. In the
middle of the third quarter, he basically said, I'm done.
Yeah,
I didn't think you could do that.
I was trying to squeeze that in. I didn't know how. Yeah, that's a big story going around. I guess a lot of injuries at linebacker. So the coach turns to this, what's his name again?
Devondre Campbell.
The coach turns to him and says, we need you out there. And he said, no.
Yeah, he was mad because he wasn't the starter.
Will he get fined or something?
They'll cut him today.
He'll get cut.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They'll cut him.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's kind of badass.
He quit on his team.
Similar but different to the Cowboys guy a few nights ago. Similar but different.
Kind of different, yeah.
He'll get cut. What's his name from the Cowboys won't get cut because he's a big shot.
No.
Micah Parsons?
No.
You guys have a wonderful weekend, Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Okay.
See ya.
We got to get going. We'll be back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
How would a person buy their time?
There's technology hacks. There's, of course, income hacks. There's outsourcing. If you have the means, now it's time to take the action and outsource. If you don't have the means, you can't afford to buy back your time. This is the whole point. We want you to stop buying silly objects and start saving so you can get to the position to do these things.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Friday the 13th. What a crowd we got going this morning, Josh.
Been pretty excited to hear from them this morning.
Great crowd. It is 8:30. There's a hell of a fun event set to cut loose on the West Metro tonight, and a charitable event, too.
Tomorrow.
Did I say tonight?
Yeah.
You did.
It's okay. I keep doing it. I keep thinking it's tonight, too.
There's a hell of a fun event set to cut loose on the West Metro tomorrow night, and with a charitable twist. Tomorrow night, starting at 6 o'clock at the Stanchion Bar in beautiful Corcoran, Minnesota. They're going ahead with their annual Toys for Tots fundraiser. So here's what we'd like you to do if you're in the neighborhood. Stop by, get a drink, donate some cash for the young people. Part of the fun involves some guest bartending at the Stanchion. Teams of amateur bartenders getting their asses kicked back there, by the way, competing to raise the most cash for Toys for Tots. And we have a team in the mix. So from 7:30 to 9 tomorrow night, come out and buy a drink from our starting five behind the bar. It's going to go like this. Yours truly, I'll be back there. Ashley, Janelle Kleinsky, Laura Shera, and former North Star Jack Effin Carlson. That's our team. The event begins at 6. Donate to whoever you like. It all goes to the same place, Toys for Tots. But if you can, come on out and see us at the damn Stanchion tomorrow night, 7:30 to 9. If you order a drink for me, I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee jack squat.
Ashley's the expert.
Yeah, I got you covered.
And everyone said you dominated last year.
Yeah, I'll make sure everybody is getting the right thing.
It's a tough gig. Tough gig. What I do remember I remember a lot from last year. I remember struggling back there. I mean, you got to go fast, and as we already covered this week, I didn't understand some of the drink orders because I'm not a drink guy. I'm not a mixed drink guy, and I don't know much about these fancy what do they call those things? Seltzers. But I was very happy, Josh, that I did not break anything.
Oh, man.
I thought for sure I would snap a tap off the thing or sweep a bottle off the bar onto the floor. Yeah,
especially with how hard you guys are working back there. How many people are coming up to you with the exotic stuff at times? You were talking off the air about some of these different drinks I'd never heard of. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but even so, some of them are pretty common. Gin and tonic, I can figure that one out.
Yeah, it's always disheartening when you break something in a kitchen or a bar because you hear everyone yell, "Job opening!"
Yeah, classic.
I haven't heard that. That's funny.
Yep. Actually, it's really bad because when I go out in public and I'm in a restaurant and somebody drops something, that's all I can think of in my head.
I resort back to high school where we used to just clap and sometimes give standing ovations if someone dropped a tray or whatever.
Gosh.
Dude.
I used to get the slow clap. That was the best.
I've almost done it as a grown man because it's just kind of programmed into you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the greatest scenario I've ever been involved in where something was dropped and broken and then a clapping session broke out, I still can't believe this happened. One of my best friends growing up, his dad died young. At his dad's, what do they call the thing when you just kind of get together after the funeral is over? Let's call it the funeral get-together. Reception, okay. My buddy's dad dies. We go to the church. We do that gimmick. We go back to his mother's house for the reception, right? Guy died young. Everyone's, this isn't, she was 90 years old. We'll all just kind of have a few laughs and have something to eat. Guy died young. My buddy, that was his dad. During this reception, his 106-year-old great-grandmother is walking across the room with this massive bowl of macaroni or something, and she drops it. Just caw down on the ground, and it's dead silence, and everyone feels sad and sympathy for this old lady, and sympathy. That was just the vibe, of course, was sympathy. A man just died. My buddy, who just watched his great-grandmother ruin everything by dropping, he does this. I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
you're programmed to it.
Yes.
You went to high school in the 90s.
Her son just passed away, and then he does that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was so classic. I couldn't believe that he did that to his friggin' great-grandmother at his dad's. Okay.
Juicy Jerky Jesus said anytime he hears someone break a glass, he can't help but instantly yell, Mazel Tov!
Yeah. Now, I got bad news here via text. I was just talking about how happy I was last year at the stanchion with our guest bartending routine. I was happy that I didn't sweep anything off the bar and break it. Apparently, there's bad news, Josh, which will make me extra nervous. A listener says there's a new feature on the bar at the stanchion. It's a giant printer.
Oh, my gosh. We've had such bad... As long as you don't touch it...
I bet you I've knocked over our printer a good 30 times.
Both of us have done it.
Yeah.
We've been pretty good about it.
That printer's not going to make it through the night tomorrow night. All right, here's something that I was thinking about squeezing into our sports conversation from a few minutes ago with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. We were so overwhelmed with everything going on at once. It'll work. It'll work right here, right now. We were talking earlier, actually, about the PornHub Year in Review. The PornHub Year in Review. Folks at PornHub, they do all their end-of-the-year arithmetic. They cut loose with numbers and statistics on the year in porn, like their top searched items. You know, when you go onto PornHub, you search, MILF or GILF or vomit porn or whatever the hell.
Oh my God.
Or football to the groin, whatever. You get on PornHub, you search stuff.
I'm sorry, Ashley. Can you grab my copy of this article real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right
from the printer.
Right
Yeah.
God
dang it!
Yeah, it's a little foreshadowing for tomorrow night. So we were talking about PornHub's year in review. There were some interesting things in there. There were some not so interesting things in there. On the topic of porn, the latest sports memorabilia up for sale at an auction. O.J. Simpson's prison porn stash.
Oh, gross.
Do people have porn stashes anymore, like younger people? Ashley Wapple, Dana, you
No.
guys like to
No.
back it.
Nope. I have
It's
no
all
use.
digital now, right?
Yeah, no use for anything physical.
I guess in high school.
You didn't ask me.
Oh, well, I know you do. You've mentioned it before.
So
I was asking if the younger folks have it.
Oh.
Yeah, you've mentioned you've got Playboys and all that kind of stuff.
Do you think that that's how it works? We older people still have a stash where the young people probably never had an established stash because you didn't need one. Is that how we're...
I mean, like, Playboys don't even publish magazines anymore, right? I
Right.
mean, or they did and they didn't, and I
It's
think
like all
they don't.
online.
Okay.
Yeah.
You never had to have... You really... So, I mean, I know you guys are younger, but you're that much younger? You never had that big stack of DVD porno movies?
No, I was just going to say, I was right on the cusp of digital and old school. So we did have a couple DVDs that would get kind of passed around the dorms or in high school, but pretty soon after that, it was all just digital.
The last time, I like the way you went through with that, Dana, how you came off right there. Passed around a porno. That was something we used to have to do when we were kids. Right. Because it wasn't that easy to get your hands on, and certainly there wasn't the internet thing. Not that, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, maybe less. The last porno I passed to a friend so he could borrow it for a while was a porno movie. I'll always remember this. It was a porno movie called Bottom Feeders.
Oh. Was it what you're picturing?
I don't know if that's for me.
You can skip that one, Ashley?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
O.J. Simpson's prison porn stash
I bet that gets used more than an out-of-prison porn stash, don't you think?
More than an out-of-prison porn
A
stash.
prison porn stash probably gets used quite a bit. You got some time to kill.
You do.
Yeah, no phone.
What's that?
No cell phone or anything, too, or internet.
Right. They don't? Not even the well-behaved prisoners?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
the rule.
everything's
Been a while
like
since I did
everything's
time.
very locked. Everything's very locked down. They have like access to computers and stuff in the library, but like that kind of stuff is filtered out.
All right.
I feel like you'd get beat up if you start watching porn in a prison library. I bet that's frowned upon.
Well, I bet you'd have people gather
Yeah, I was
around.
gonna say.
Yeah, I bet that would be okay.
I think you'd become popular if you have some porn on your prison library computer.
I guess unless you were like openly whacking it in front of everybody, like aggressively, that might.
Aggressively.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never been to
pictured
prison.
Aggressively, Waffle. I don't know.
I don't know the rules
So
of
you can
prison,
get it
and I
done.
don't want to know. Some dude who's still associated with O.J. Simpson's family, like an attorney or something. He says he has O.J.'s stash of prison porn from when he was doing time in Nevada all those years ago. Turns out O.J. had quite a collection.
It's got the juice all over it.
Oh.
Well, that's his nickname.
Yeah, he wrote his name on it so that the other inmates would know who it belonged to.
Exactly.
If found, please return to juice.
Apparently, O.J. was a big fan of porno magazines and movies. He stashed away a lot of Penthouse magazines.
Now, that's the dirty one. I remember that from back in the day.
Well, that's not the dirty one.
Well, there's worse.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, between the two, the Penthouse and Playboy were the only ones that any of my friends had. Well, I take that back. Somebody in 8th grade got a Hustler, and I have never been the same since.
Meaning what exactly?
I'm essentially, I could probably pass a entrance exam to gynecology. With how close those photos were. I wasn't used to something like that.
Gross.
Very graphic.
O.J. liked Penthouse magazine, and he's got a lot of them. So there's this auction that's going to cut loose. I mean, I don't know where it is or when it is. Who cares? But, I mean, the word is, whoever is still involved in O.J.'s estate, I mean, they're trying like hell to gather up any money they can get their hands on because he still owes millions and millions and millions and millions over the murders. They also say here they might put O.J.'s condoms up for auction also.
Don't do that.
But when he died, he still had 6-8 boxes of condoms laying around the house. Magnums.
He's cool.
Who the F is going to buy this garbage?
That's pretty gross.
Come on.
Moron.
All right. Speaking of things that are popular on the internet, or speaking of year-end, reports on social media and the internet and all that. We did the PornHub thing earlier. Apparently what I have here in front of me are the biggest gimmicks, the most popular trends from the damn godless internet from this year. As we're closing out 24, we're heading towards 25. These are the biggest bits from the internet from the year 20 plus 24. So I'm not going to roll through all of them because not all of them are interesting. But there's 2 or 3 here that I wanted to run by Smashly. You're the one who provided this information to me, so you must know. Or you younger people, you also, if Smashly gets lost, I'm sure you can lend a hand. So, because there's 2 or 3 of these that I have no idea the story behind them. Well, maybe I have heard of this, just heard of it. One of the biggest things from the internet from this year, the TikTok ban and the fear that TikTok lovers are feeling right now. Tell me about the TikTok ban.
So the TikTok ban went through. I can't remember exactly what month it was. So TikTok technically did get banned. But it's a little. I get a little lost in like the specifics of it. But I guess there's a way that if a different company bought it in the next couple months or something, it could still be saved.
Are you in fear of losing TikTok?
No.
Okay.
I watch Instagram Reels.
Instagram
cool.
and Reels?
No, Instagram Reels.
Instagram Reels.
Yeah, those are way cooler than TikTok videos.
Do you know anything about the TikTok ban, Josh?
I didn't know it was officially banned. I knew they've been talking about it, and I know that, like Ashley said, that if they can't get a buyer, it's gone.
Does anyone here fear the TikTok ban?
No, I think the people that fear it are the ones that they make their living off of it.
Yeah, a lot of the creators are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's who the people are the most afraid of it, obviously.
Who makes a living off TikTok? Do you have any examples you can make? Because, again, I know nothing about these things.
I've never really been on it.
Oh.
75% of my income comes from TikTok.
Oh, my God. You don't look nervous at all.
No, I think I'll be all right.
You're a very cool customer.
Yeah. I knew a girl that I used to be friends with her. I don't really see her too much anymore, but she definitely has like a TikTok career. And even moved states because of it. And the
career isn't she can sustain a living?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
She doesn't have to work another job.
And so, and she's also not the nicest person in the world. So to be honest, some of the TikTok famous people, I would love to see kind of their downfall. But some people on there are genuine and nice. And
that
I
really
don't wanna...
surprises me, actually. A TikTok influencer isn't somebody you really want to be hanging around. That's shocking to me.
I'm surprised Dana doesn't know one. Isn't Mr. Beast a TikTok influencer?
No, he's YouTube.
Yeah, it's a YouTuber.
I thought he was on TikTok, though.
I mean,
I'm sure they're all on it. Yeah, he's known for
Waffle.
YouTube. And actually, he's got a show coming to Prime Video, I guess.
Yeah, a $5 million reality competition.
I might go get another tattoo. You guys know I like doing that.
Knock it off.
Yeah, the flash tattoos on this.
Yeah, did you and my wife join a punk band? My wife's getting into it as well, too.
Enough, Ashley.
Yes, we did. She's the lead singer.
Let's get back to this now.
Uh-oh.
We're not
better
that
get a
good.
second or third job.
Your wife isn't the greatest singer you've ever heard?
No. She describes it in a funny way, of which I'm forgetting. But she's not a very good singer.
Kind of like a mating call or something?
It's pretty bad. It's more, animalistic, and not in an attractive way.
I am not a social media guy. I'm in the dark on what you folks do over there. So I'm trying to learn a little bit here. According to the folks who pay attention to such things, I'm looking at a list of the biggest damn deals that the internet provided during the year of 20 and 24. And you folks are having to fill in the blanks for me. A minute ago, we talked about the TikTok ban. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. By God, I can guarantee I will keep an eye on that situation. But here's a couple more. Help me out, young people. Or Cubby. Cubby knows a lot of young people stuff because he's got young people living in his house.
Yeah, he really does. I learn a lot from you, Josh.
Well, it's the kids. They
Tell me
keep you
about
young and poor.
Tell me about The failed Willy Wonka experience?
So we mentioned this on air a little bit when it happened. It was a very long time ago, though, so I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was when the new Willy Wonka movie came out with Timothy Chalamet.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Never saw it.
And so they put on this Willy Wonka type experience where people were supposed to come, and it was supposed to be the trippiest, coolest experience.
It was really pumped up. This whole event. And it wasn't officially licensed, right? Which families didn't really know. This was in Scotland, wasn't it?
Yeah. I can't remember where.
So you're not talking about people going to the movie.
No.
You're talking about someone set up a Willy Wonka real life
immersive experience.
Yeah.
They're supposed to blend AI and some real life stuff. They're supposed to blend all this stuff together and just be like a Disneyland based around Willy Wonka. And it was garbage.
Oh, it's just
straight trash. Nick.
Card tables set up and just junk everywhere.
It was basically like another fire festival.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, yeah. It's
that's how it's described, right?
It's like if they would have taken this building and put some candy on the table.
Couple of cardboard cutouts. So it was just a straight up scam?
Well, I don't know.
Or just the world's worst party?
I don't know if they just failed or if it ended up being a scam.
I thought they failed, but you know what? That's about as far as I got into that story, so maybe it was. But I remember, they apologized.
It's so funny.
We're really bad at this.
That sounds like fun.
I've been to something like that before, where it was really built up and it was so stupid.
What was it?
Gosh, I don't know. It was a animatronic themed event that was supposed to be incredible.
Yeah.
And
Same,
it was
Josh.
you've been to that too?
It's so
Like
bad.
maybe
And
you
I
saw.
thought, well, boy, this is kind of expensive. It must be really good.
There was an ad on television or something made it look.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It was basically in a warehouse. It was supposed to be like an outdoor type thing. And, oh, boy.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
You know who loved it, though, Josh? My
that?
mom. My
did
mom
she really?
loved it.
you know what event he's talking about?
Yeah.
Because there was a couple other, Valley Fair did something similar, and somebody else did too, which were great.
Yeah, it's exactly what we heard. So we thought this will be perfect.
Now, I could sit here and say, well, I can, and I think I can relate to a certain extent. I could sit here and say, well, when I was a kid, I loved the freak show on the Midway at the State Fair. And a few of those supposed, earth-shattering freak shows were an absolute joke. The difference being I probably paid $1 to get in and see this bust of a freak show, where these events you guys are describing probably cost a lot of money to get in.
Yeah,
and they sold them as these, life-changing events.
Oh, absolutely. And the commercials made it sound awesome. It made it sound great. And I remember, so my youngest was maybe 7. A perfect age for this, right?
Yeah.
And even he thought it was stupid.
Oh, that's great.
That sucks.
Oh, man, it was so dumb.
All right. I have one more here. One more supposed. I guess this is factual. These were big, popular trends, big events on the internet from this year. I never heard this before. Apparently, there was a famous question thrown out to social media people. Would you rather be alone in the woods with a man or a bear?
Yeah, this was a huge question that went around online because the majority of women were like, dude, I'd rather be in the woods with a bear than a strange man that I have no idea who they are.
More predictable?
Yeah, and I actually texted my dad. I was curious because people were doing that online, texting their older parents, and so my dad's 73, and I thought he's for sure going to be like, a man, are you stupid? Why would you even ask? And without even hesitating, he said, bear, obviously, bear all day. All right.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, this is the first I've had a chance to think about it. Yeah, Josh, that's the best way to put it. A bear, way more predictable than some rando.
Yeah, bear's just going to go bear.
Yeah.
You know what to expect.
Bear's just going to do bear stuff.
Oh, speaking of that, if you go to 93x.com, there's a snowboarder being taken out by a bear, which is a pretty funny video.
Yeah, it is.
It's sick.
Yeah, that's interesting. Some kids were snowboarding down a hill in California or something, and a bear decided to cross the slope and crashola. There's like a flying, what do they call it in the television wrestling world? A cross-body block.
Yep.
Bear versus snowboarder. Josh, say I'm going to kill the bear.
I'm going to kill the bear.
Say it again.
I'm going to kill the bear.
And again.
I'm going to kill the bear.
That's right.
People are texting in agreeing with us on our assessment of that event.
I'm glad we're not the only one.
What made it worse was it was like $50 to get in or whatever.
Right. That sucks. Again, I got ripped off at the freak show a couple times, but I doubt more than $1 came out of my pocket for that sumbitch. $50. People figured out what event you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
It was up there, right? Wasn't it close to $50?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Well.
Especially when you pay for 4 tickets.
Yeah, that's the thing. I bought. I think we brought my mother-in-law. Everybody.
What?
I can't wait for this
Family showdown.
The only thing that was worth it, maybe, is they had an incredible amount of bouncy houses at the end, which is nobody went there for that.
No,
but that was like the big deal at the end.
That'll save any situation. A big stinking bounce house. All right, Cubby, should we shut her down?
Yeah, let's do it. Good luck to Dale and his junior gold hockey team headed to Woodbury for their first tournament of the year from the Better Ross Jesus. Redbeard Jesus texted in a birthday shout out to Pastor Jesus. Happy birthday to Ojibwe Jesus' daughter Sage, turning the big 04 today. I'm no Jesus. Jesus wants to wish his wonderful wife Chrissy a happy 53rd birthday. Happy birthday to Batman Jesus, and have a nice weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.